Hi guys, welcome back to Tarot and Beyond. Today we're doing a second half of 2023 reading. So this is going to be looking into all areas of the next half of the year. And you can use the wands that you see here before you to select a reading. So we've got 4 options for you. We have the yellow wand, the pink wand, the green wand, and the purple wand. And if you prefer to pick with piles, I will pop those in now. Use the wand or the pile to select the reading or multiple readings that resonate with you, and use the timestamps linked in the description box or pinned in the comments below to jump ahead to your chosen reading or readings. And we'll see you there. All right, hi group number 1. If you chose the yellow star and this pile, then this is going to be your reading. So let's go ahead and take a look at what 2023, or the second half of 2023, I should say, holds for you. So we have a bunch of different oracle cards and then some tarot style oracle cards. We're also going to pull tarot, the astro dice, and maybe some fireside story dice too. So we'll just take a look and see what comes up. You have happy, beautiful, flexible as well. Okay. You have reconciliation. Okay. You have the spider. Trust the creative spark you're feeling and express it through writing stories that inspire and enlighten. All right. You have intuition as well. Actually, I do want to pull this one first. You have spiritual union in reverse. So this is the 2 of Cups and it's reversed. Okay, definitely starting to see some reconciliation here, like you might reconnect with somebody from your past, somebody who you loved. Okay, we'll get more information as we go. You have the High Priestess, trusting your intuition, careful reflection before taking action, insights that come through meditation. So I love this since you also have the intuition card here. Okay, let me just figure out where to put that so I can see things. Yeah, okay. And then you have the King of Autumn, compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, and gifted. Be assertive when it comes to what you know is right. Everything is going your way. A good person or company to work for. All right. Okay, so group number 1, the second half of 2023 is going to require you to be a little bit flexible. I feel like you're going to be actually enjoying this though. So when I think of flexibility, sometimes it's like, okay, I need to bend and, where am I going to snap or where am I going to break? But what I'm seeing here is actually that you're meant to be flexible in like a fun and playful way. You're able to create from this. It's like this playfulness and this flexibility allow you to adapt and to create something that does feel more aligned for you, which is going to make you very happy. So the second half of 2023 is looking good in terms of how you're feeling, but there could be some kind of a union or reunion or reconciliation with somebody from your past. It could be an earth sign energy, so Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. It doesn't have to be a male, but we do have the king here, which is masculine energy. So this could be a man from your past that either was one of those earth sign energies, or it's just very grounded, practical, good with money, good with finances, nurturing, generous, that kind of thing. And it could be something to do with, like, it feels like it's something that your intuition is guiding you toward, because even the intuition card is looking in that direction. So it feels like there's something that either needs to be resolved here. This could even be reconciling internally, like you don't necessarily have to meet with this person and reconcile in the 3rd dimensional realm, in the physical world. Maybe you're just doing this internally through your intuition, through your higher self, and being flexible to access your intuition and your inner guidance, which allows you to release something from the past that brings more happiness and unlocks a new beginning for you, because they're showing me the egg with the keyhole here. So it does feel like it unlocks something that is going to help you to birth new into the world. And I'm just noticing that you have the flexible card with the egg symbology here as well. So Eggs are creation, it's new birth of life, and it's kind of like the unmanifest. So it does feel kind of almost like a little bit like 0 point energy. So it's like the all or the void where everything comes from. And it's something you've created, but it's kind of like unmanifest at this point. So you may have been working on birthing something into being over the course of the first half of 2023. And then the second half is going to be about kind of nurturing that, because I'm seeing them like standing or being on this egg. So it does kind of feel like a mother hen, like warming or protecting her egg to make sure that it's going to hatch when it's ready. So it does feel like divine timing is at play here, and the spider can talk of that as well. Yes, it's talking about creativity, expressing how you're feeling, maybe writing or doing something that inspires you or enlightens you, or brings you that sense of happiness and joy. But I'm also seeing the spider here as creation energy. And it's like the web that connects everything. So this connection to this other person might bring more happiness in for you as you reconcile. Or it could be that doing that internal healing through the intuition to release this old past relationship that was painful brings more happiness. So it's going to depend on your situation. Take it how it resonates, but I'm seeing that everything is connected here. And so it is unfolding in divine timing, and it's very, very divinely guided. They're showing me the book in her hand is like a contract. So you're unlocking some contract, or you're clearing a contract of some kind. It could be a negative soulmate contract if it was a bad relationship, or it could be that you're initiating yourself into this new higher contract or higher expression of relationships through this reconciliation, or through the internal healing that is bringing, or that you're doing on your own behalf. Ooh, I didn't even notice that there's a dog in this card. So the dog here, and it's a German Shepherd no less. So German Shepherds are very, very loyal, obedient, intelligent dogs. That's why they're used often in like police work and things like that. So they're very, I'm hearing the word astute. And I'm also seeing in my mind's eye like a drug sniffing dog, like they're so highly trained and skilled and talented, disciplined, and they're able to detect things that we humans are not able to detect. Like we can't smell drugs like a German Shepherd can. And so the High Priestess energy and the intuition is telling me that this keen sense and these skills that you have to tap into what's not there is going to give you information that you would not have had otherwise, and that maybe you didn't have in the past. So especially in regard to this person or this situation, that is, I don't know how this is involved here, but they're giving me the words compassionate and gifted. Compassionate and gifted. So this could apply to you, or this could apply to this other person that you're reconciling with. This could be a past life relationship that you've never actually met or encountered in this lifetime as well. That just came through. So if you're not looking to reconcile with anybody from your past, and you're not really focusing on working on releasing any past exes or anything like that, or friendships, then I would say that this is somebody from your past in terms of your soul lineage who's coming back around to help to activate some kind of a gift within you. It's like they bring this German Shepherd energy where they're highly skilled, highly trained, and highly disciplined, and they might be helping you to do that as well, to activate your High Priestess energy or your intuition or your psychic abilities in some way, so that you can sense what's beyond, and how this applies to your ability to create your reality, because it's all connected. So the more sensitive you are, the more connected and tapped in you are to everything around you, the better you're going to be able to create. You're going to receive inspiration. You're going to be more flexible. You're going to be more trusting, more balanced, and you're able to really unlock a lot for yourself, because they keep showing me the keyhole. It's like the second half of 2023, group 1 is unlocking so much for you, or rather you are unlocking so much in that time period. So I would say embrace this reconciliation or this connection, or whoever this person happens to be, either internally or physically, because I just get the sense that they are going to unlock things for you, or them coming in as a catalyst for you unlocking it for yourself. They're directing me to the fact that I chose these magic wands. They're like glow sticks, to represent or to be like the I don't know why I just heard the word dispositor. Let me just look up dispositor. Oh, that's interesting. A dispositor is a planet that rules the sign that another planet is located in. So, for example, if Venus is in Gemini, then Mercury is the dispositor of Venus because it's like the rulership. Oh, so when I was talking about, and I quite literally, it's like a star wand, and then they're bringing up the astrology. They're bringing up like a planet that is being ruled by a sign. Okay. Or rather, the planet that rules the sign and the transit. Okay, so I'm being called to recommend that you look into your astrology for the second half of 2023. There could be some significant information there. Look for dispositors, so look for those connections, specifically of Venus, because the example on Google that I pulled up is literally referencing Venus, and we did have the Two of Cups here, and this energy of reconciliation coming about. So I do get the sense that this is to do with love, romance, or relationships of some kind. And that's why they've directed me to look up this word so that we could see that connection and understand how those things fit together. Now, I'm also seeing that dispositor may also refer to, it's kind of like the rulership. And when the King of Autumn here does feel like a ruler. It's like a rulership or an energy that he embodies or that he holds. And I feel like that's what's activating you, or that's what's activating or catalyzing this unlocking of this skill, this gift, this compassion. It might be opening your heart. It might be expanding your physical skills. Maybe this is a teacher that you're interacting with, or somebody who's training you to do something as well. It could be a past life connection that comes in to teach you how to do something, like enhancing your intuition or expanding on your ability to connect to your psychic abilities. Very interesting. The magic, like the whole reason that this came up was because I was drawn to the wand, and the wand makes me think of like manifestation or a magic wand, or even like a fairy godmother, possibly in this case a fairy godfather. I don't think is that like a thing? Is that not a thing? I don't know, but a fairy godfather who's coming in to help you to unlock this gift and accomplishment, because it's like the stability and the skills and the knowledge you need to be able to create what you're needing to create. So if this is not romantic, then this is somebody who's coming back around either from your past or from a past life, who is going to help you to tap into your creative gift, is what I just heard, your creative gift, and then be able to spin a web or a tale or a story. If you're a writer, this could be like a mentor who's coming in to help to teach you how to write or how to structure it or how to publish it or something like that. And it's going to help you to be more flexible, where in the past maybe you were more rigid about your creation, and you're able to make more progress that way and to actually get that sense of accomplishment that you've been looking for. If this is romantic, it still could have implications in regard to your psychic abilities, your creative expression, and also your finances, because the King of Autumn is like the pentacles or coins energy. It's all about finances, abundance, and that's why he's able to be so nurturing and protective and grounded, is because he's secure. He's very secure. So this energy may be somebody that you're interacting with that helps you to feel secure, and then by extension unlocks some things within you or around you. This could be somebody who discovers you. I just heard it's like you get discovered, you know what I mean? And they kind of set you on your path in a way. And it does feel like it's very fated or very destined or very aligned. It's like it's written in the stars, and that's why they brought up astrology as well. It's helping to manifest for you something that is kind of like written into the contract of your soul. Yep, because I'm seeing stars dancing all around me right now. Like physically with my eyes open, I can see like these like shooting stars all around me. This is definitely divinely guided. Wow. Okay. Yeah, your intuition is going to tell you who this person is or what to do. So trust yourself, trust your intuition. But let's get some additional cards. So what else is for group number one needing to be brought to their awareness around the second half of 2023? I see this one as well. So the second half of 2023, yeah, that one did give me a feeling, and then I kind of went, no, and then I went almost past it. So I just kind of go with the cards that give me a yes, or I feel a pull from, if I notice them, if I feel them. Okay, that's probably enough. No, there's one more. Okay, that's good. All right, so we've got lots to go on here. So for group number one, the second half of 2023, you've got the Page of Cups. So this could be a new inspiration. I'm also feeling compassion from him, and we did have compassion from the King of Autumn here as well, compassionate. So I feel like this Page of Cups energy is you really tapping into your inner compassion or receiving compassion from this other person. You have the Knight of Wands. This could very much be a romantic relationship, especially with these two cards, like the Knight of Wands and the Page of Cups. This could be somebody who's coming in with a love offer. There could be some sexual attraction here or some chemistry, and that's what's kind of leading you back into reconciliation or connection with this person. You have the Four of Pentacles. I just get the sense that it's going to help you to be more stable with your finances, or you're going to feel as though things are just more secure, more balanced. There's a firm foundation. You have the Nine of Swords, okay? So Nine of Swords to me here feels like worry and fear have been blocking your intuition, okay? So maybe this person comes in with their security and their stability and their knowledge and wisdom and their skills, and they help you to feel more safe in your own home. It's like they're helping you to create more stability for yourself. And so because of that, you feel less afraid, less worried, less inclined to go into those stress spirals, is what Spirit just said, stress spirals. So you're just more confident is what I'm getting. You're more confident and you're able to be more patient because of that. So you're able to, the Seven of Pentacles here is almost giving me like an intuitive vibe, even though that's not normally what I get from it. It's a very grounded, practical energy, but because it's coming with these intuition cards and the High Priestess, I just get the sense that the Seven of Pentacles here is very patient and wise, and he's tuning into, it's like he's psychically connecting to that which he's creating and feeling into like what stage of its growth it's in and what it needs. So yes, it's very practical and hands-on, but at the same time, it's very intuitive, that process. And I think maybe this person or this aspect of you is, because if this isn't an actual person from your physical past or from your past lives, if this is just an aspect of you that you are reconciling with, reconnecting with, then this is what's kind of giving you this access to heightened intuition, heightened extrasensory abilities to detect what you could not detect before, most likely because you're feeling more grounded, more stable, more connected, more abundant. You have a firm foundation. And so because of that, you're able to move confidently into your intuition and to feel into the world around you. Whereas before you may have blocked that off because you weren't feeling as safe as you needed to be able to actually tune into and use that information. Yeah, the Ace of Swords is all about information. I would literally just said the word information. Ace of Swords is information, insight, clarity, new awareness, epiphanies, aha moments that come in. So I just get the sense that you are really expanding your ability to tap into truth. And this truth is going to come in from around you. It's like you're going to tune into it, or you're going to be inspired. It's like you're either going to be channeling information, or you're going to be receiving it from your environment or from this other person, or all of the above. I just get the sense that you're going to have really clear mind because you're able to get rid of this stress, and you're able to then channel information really, really effectively, whether it's through spoken word or written word, because the spider did talk about writing here. And swords are about the mind and communication. So definitely. And we did have Mercury come up in the example of the dispositor. So Gemini and Mercury are all about communication. So paying attention to that as well. You have another ace. Oh, I love it. The Ace of Pentacles. So yeah, this is a new beginning. You have those two eggs, and then you have the two aces. It's like a very, very positive, fresh start is what I just heard. So the second half of 2023 almost feels like, it almost feels like a new year for you. It's like the second half of the year is going to be a completely new year almost, because it's going to feel so different and new and fresh is what I'm feeling. It's fresh. And even though you have reconciliation and energy from the past, it's like, it's completely brand new is what it feels like. Yeah. And it's unlocking things for you, because they're showing me the gateway here. So it's unlocking and you're being given access. This King of Autumn energy was also giving me like a gatekeeper type of energy. I did note that earlier, but I didn't say it out loud. And so it does feel like this person is like a guard dog for this like insight, wisdom, knowledge, or information or abundance. And you're being granted access to it because you're being like discovered, or you're being, you're being sought out, or you're being seen for your confidence, your skill, your wisdom, your intuition, whatever it happens to be. And that's what gets you out of stress, because it's like you were worried about not being able to make it to that next area in life. And this person is like, no, come on in, you're VIP, like, let's go. Here's your wristband. You know what I mean? And it's funny that I was going to choose different indicators for the reading today. I was going to choose these hummingbirds that I have, but I ended up seeing these and going with these instead. And the night that I actually used these, I went to a rave. First time I ever went to a rave, and I went alone because Spirit told me to go. It was on a new moon, and I was meant to be there to protect energetically some people. Anyway, point being was that I ended up being granted access to VIP that night. Or rather being discovered. Like, I was standing there alone and someone comes up to me and says, hey, do you want to come in VIP? Here's a wristband. And I was like, sure. So I go back and then I was better able to kind of survey the crowd and protect the people that needed it, who were like, energetically being influenced by some of the music there. So anyway, point being is that you're being given backstage pass. You're being given VIP status. You're being made you're being granted access to something that you didn't have before. And it's going to unlock a lot of inspiration, insight, intuition, and wealth, abundance, prosperity, and stability for you in the second half of this year. You have the Queen of Swords. Communication's obviously a big theme here. I feel like clear thinking, clarity of thought, and your ability to translate that into words is going to be really important for you. So you might do some kind of communication in your work, or this might just be that you're communicating more clearly with the people in your life that you had issues with in the past, and you're speaking from the intuition or from the higher self so that you can nurture growth or repair bonds that need to kind of give you access to new things. It feels like you've transformed and matured, and so you are really stepping into the second half of 2023 with your hand out, like, here's what I'm willing to offer, and this is what I can do, and then also, what are you going to give me for it? It's like, it's more of an exchange. It's like, here's my skill, here's my talent, and then somebody's like, this is what I'll pay you for it, and you're like making a deal or something like that. It's very interesting, all these messages. You have the Five of Cups. Five of Cups is some grief, loss, or worry, or, focusing on what didn't work in the past. I feel like you're moving away from, Ten of Wands, you're moving away from that. So you're stepping out of stress, worry, anxiety, fear, heaviness, burdens, and you're coming into a time in the second half of this year of prosperity, abundance, it feels like more confident. You're so much more confident. You have the Queen of Cups as well. So the Queen of Swords is communication. The Queen of Cups is emotion and intuition as well. So your psychic abilities are definitely going to be getting an upgrade. In the second half of this year, you are seriously being given gifts from the universe. You're being given people from the universe who are going to help you. You're being given access to different bandwidths of information is what I just heard. Bandwidths of information. So whether this is through information you're getting from astrology, or information you're getting from your psychic abilities, or from your intuition or your gut instinct, I just get the sense that you're getting more than you have in the past in like the best possible way. And you're you're able to see the forest through the trees is what I just heard, where you in the past you weren't, because you were distracted by what wasn't working or what you didn't have, or the stress and the worry that came from insecurity. And so because you're more secure now, you're able to much better tap into your skills, gifts, wisdom, and knowledge, and then be able to share that or offer that up in a way. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so I thought we were going to get the fireside story dice, but we're actually going to do runes and letters instead. So that's what they're directing me to. So let's get the thing here. So let me just make sure that that's even. There we go. That's better. So let's get some runes for you. Group number 1. So for group number 1, okay. I still don't know the runes off by heart, so I'm going to look these up as we go, but I'm just going to grab the ones that I feel are for you. You've got this one. Okay. X marks the spot. We'll find out what these mean together. This one. I think it's supposed to be like that. And one more. Ooh, you have the blank rune. Oh, that's like the void space, the egg energy I was picking up on. Very much like this untapped potential or this infinite possibility. Okay, let's take a look at what these mean. Okay, so the first rune here is purpoes. And its protection or self-discipline is needed to avoid chaos. So adversity, rigor, harm, introspection, and conflicts. Okay. Before I kind of get ahead of myself here, I want to tune into the other ones as well. The second one that you have here is Hagalaz, which is destructive forces, clears old patterns and unwanted energies. It's also about involuntary suffering, affliction, sudden loss, or disruption. We did see that with the 5 of Cups. So there may be some kind of a sudden loss or disruption that you need to be flexible with, because they're reminding me that we did have the flexible card. But it's ultimately, I feel like it's going to be serving you in a way. It's like any loss that you experience it's kind of like something's being removed for a reason. Maybe because you didn't pay attention to your intuition. But it's for protection. And self-discipline is going to be important. I was getting discipline from that King of Autumn energy. So having discipline of yourself, your mind is a big part of that. It's going to help you to move through this with flexibility and to create what's meant to be created out of this. Okay, let's take a look at this. X marks the spot here is a Gibo. Favors connections or freedom from a relationship, gifts, skills, relationships, fertility, prosperity, and luck. So X does mark the spot here because it's about luck. We did see relationships being an important theme in the second half, especially relationships that are meant to be released. Freedom from a relationship that was painful in the past. So this could be a reconciliation, i.e. you releasing this pain from the past, from this old wound or this old relationship. And that it might welcome in somebody new who's then going to act as that... gatekeeper's not the right word. It's like they're going to act as like a security guard, is for whatever reason is what I'm seeing and hearing in my mind. It's like they're going to secure your future. They're going to protect you. They're going to give you access is what I'm seeing. Okay, this one here is Berkana. Berkana is regenerative powers and personal growth. So it's all about new beginnings, birth, prosperity, beauty, and conception. So we're getting a lot of like birth, a lot of conception, fertility. So after a period of loss or release, which you're being protected through, there's going to be a lot of new growth. And that's what I'm seeing there with the aces and the eggs. It's like this new beginning is really, really important for you. And that's why the second half of 2023 really feels like a new year for you entirely, because it's like a fresh start and you're bringing something new into the world and you're regenerating yourself. Your personal growth is going to be so potent in the second half of 2023. And then the blank rune is you create your own destiny. The blank rune is the space for free will to be involved here. So especially since you have those aces and you had the eggs that were making me think of the void space, it's like anything is possible. You have unlimited potential. So whatever you want to make of this is what you will make of this. And there's no restrictions on that. So use your free will to be able to maneuver flexibly through any loss, disappointment, or overwhelm, to come out of it knowing that you're protected, that you're strong, and that you're releasing what doesn't serve you so that you can start fresh. The happy card is like whatever is happening in the second half of 2023 is going to ultimately result in your happiness, but you have to kind of embrace that and be flexible with it to be able to feel more balanced and secure through the processes of change and birth, because birth can be painful, but ultimately it results in so much happiness. So know that you're protected through this, and your free will is also involved. So use your intuition to guide you, because your higher will, when combined with your individual free will, is going to make this whole process so much better and so much easier. So now let's get some letters. The first word I'm seeing is end, but we don't have a D, but for whatever reason, that's what I saw here, an end. And then I'm seeing the word era, end of an era. Yeah, this does feel like it's the end of an era for you, an era where you were not happy, where you were really grieving and stressed and overwhelmed and burdened. And this era is now ending, and that might still be a little painful, but it's going to result in so much more happiness and freedom and self-determination and personal growth. Like, you are just going to be getting rid of all of the yucky energy, because I'm seeing YUC. And we don't have a K, but it's making me think of like yuck. You're getting rid of all the yucky energy and stepping into, oh, I'm seeing the word Yukon. This makes me think of that show from the 90s. It was like Yvonne of the Yukon. I don't even remember what that show was about, but it just feels like exploration and adventure for me. It's like you're going into uncharted territory. The Yukon always makes me think of like uncharted territory. And it was also known, I think that the Yukon was like a gold rush area as well. So it's like you might be doing some hard work, and that's what's going to require the skill or the discipline or the right tools, but you're going to get like a big payout from it, basically, because the Ace of Pentacles does speak of like money kind of falling from the sky, or in this case, maybe even being dug from the earth, so it's like an era of abundance for you. It's an era of like anything goes kind of thing. Especially if you've been conned in the past, that's no longer going to fly. It's like you have such divine protection now because you're more in tune with your higher will, with your intuition, with your instincts. And maybe you weren't in the past because you were blocked by stress, worry, doubt, or fear. So now by getting clear, you're able to see these things. And there's drawing my attention to the clear rune. It's clear. There's nothing there, so you can see everything. And because of that, you have this ability to detect what is conning you. And that's what they were giving us with the German Shepherd, like drug sniffing dog. You're able to see red flags blatantly, obviously, and you're able to alert. Or there will be an aspect of you that does this for you. Maybe it's a spirit guide, maybe it's an animal, maybe it's your higher self. And it's like, they're like, hey, something's not right here. And you trust that now. So you're unable to be conned, manipulated, or distorted in any way because you can see clearly, like right through it. Seeing the word ran. I'm seeing that you may have ran away from someone in the past. There's so many different energies that I'm getting from this person from the past. So I think it's going to vary from person to person, which is kind of why I'm getting so many like variations on this story. But for some of you, or for one of you, you may have ran away from this person out of fear. Maybe they were the right person, but you ran away because you weren't ready yet. And it's like you're meant to cooperate with this person. You're meant to work with them or to be with them. but it just wasn't the right time in the past, or you weren't ready, or you weren't the right person at that time in your life. And now it's like it's coming back around, and you can reconnect with this person if you want to. Again, it's like it's kind of open-ended in the sense that it's going to be up to you. It is very much based on your free will and what you want to create or not create. But I do see this as a potential that if you want to reconnect with this person or whoever this individual happens to be, then it is a potential. I'm seeing the word corn. Yeah. This makes me think of like a cowboy. I want to be a cowboy, baby. So it just feels like this person might be, because they're earth sign, they might be very like down home, grounded, down to earth. They might live in somewhere that grows corn, like an area, a state or a province or part of the world that's kind of like very grounded, very, I'm getting like cowboy energy for whatever reason. So like this person might be very like down home, grounded, down to earth, very like, yeah. I'm hearing salt of the earth, like this person is a salt of the earth, or you are, and you're kind of bringing that back because this is something that either resonates with you or is an aspect of you. I'm seeing the word yarn. And when I think of yarn, I think of a couple of different things. I think of like weaving something, which we did see there with the spiders. So you're weaving a yarn, which could be a story, right? A story you're telling yourself of your life, or this could be an inspiration to write a story in regard to maybe this relationship or your past experiences or something like that. It could be even creating a fictional character that helps to kind of guide you into deeper layers of yourself because you can explore them through how you write them. I'm also seeing yarn as like, when people are pulling a yarn or they're trying to pulling the wool over your eyes or something like that. Again, I'm seeing you not falling for anything because you see things so much more clearly now. You have that instinct, that intuition to guide you. And it's like, again, nothing that's false or out of integrity is going to get through your defenses. Your security team is like super on point. You're in VIP. And so anybody who's trying to like fake their way into VIP when they're not meant to be there, you're just like, no, they're not granted access. So I see you very much being like firm in your ability to, moderate that, regulate that, say no. This is for whatever reason making me think of the word unicorn. I know we don't have all the letters for that, but that's what I'm getting from it. So it does feel like this is a very special time in your life. The wand can also make me think of like the horn on the unicorn's head, and it's like the magic of that horse, right? Horse being very grounded, almost cowboy-ish, but then it's got like this unicorn horn, this magic to it. So maybe this person, if it is a real person, and maybe it's someone you've never met for some of you, could be somebody who is very like down home, grounded, and like grassroots, but they actually are super magical. And you wouldn't expect that. Like maybe they walk up wearing cowboy boots and jeans and like an old t-shirt, and then all of a sudden they're talking about manifestation and spirituality and like their intuition. Maybe they don't even know that they're intuitive or psychic, but they're just so grounded that they are connected to everything and they can operate from that level. So even if they're not fully aware that that's what they're doing, it's like that's what they're doing, Super cool. Getting the word narc. So this is again making me think of like police and security. It's like narking on someone, ratting them out kind of thing. Like it's like their energy, if they're negative, is going to rat them out, or any people in your environment or any situations or circumstances that are out of alignment with you. You're going to be able to see that really clearly. I also see narc as like narcotics. So you may have been kind of like, because they did give us the example of the German Shepherd and the drug sniffing dog. Again, it's like you're going to be able to sniff out when things are false. Or too good to be true, or not practical or grounded in reality. It's like, you're the CEO of your life for whatever reason that this looks like a C. So you're going to be the CEO of your life. You're calling the shots. You're saying yes or no. You are determining based on your own free will why you want to do these things or who you want to work with. It's like you're being very, very disciplined in that. We did see discipline coming up repeatedly. Get very clear on yourself. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting. Like get very clear on yourself, because that's going to help you to determine what's true and what's not, and what to do about that. Because the Ace of Swords is like the truth, and then the Ace of Pentacles is like what you're gonna do about that. It can be seeds you're planting. And we did see corn there. Maybe you're actually literally planting seeds, or this person is a farmer or in agriculture or something. But I just get the sense that yeah, it's like you're planting seeds for the future, but it's like really the actions is what's important here. And it's the truth behind the actions that needs to be aligned, because that's what's going to create more prosperity for you going forward. Let me see if there's anything else. I'm getting 1 here. Let me just ask what that's about. I'm getting the song Eminem, "You only got one shot. Don't miss your chance to blow, because opportunity comes once in a lifetime, yo." So it feels like this is kind of like your shot. Again, I did get that kind of being discovered type of energy. And so if that's what this is about, then it may come after a period of stress or disappointment. And it's kind of like you get your breakthrough, or somebody discovers you, or you're seen as the one, or you meet the one. And that's why it's so important that you trust your intuition with this, because maybe in the past you would have turned it down because it seemed too good to be true. Or maybe it's coming after a period of somebody offering you something that was too good to be true. So you really have to be disciplined in your discernment. You really have to trust your intuition here. And it's kind of like a test of what your free will is going to do in this kind of situation. Wow. And I am seeing the word cone here. Okay, this is making me think of like cone of silence. What is that from? There's a couple of examples. I think that's been used, that trope, the cone of silence, has been used in a lot of different things. But the one that's coming to mind is from Steve Carell in that movie where he's like a spy and he uses the cone of silence. And he's like screaming because he's so excited because he got this big break. But then the cone isn't working and everyone can hear him be like, yes, finally. So it's I kind of feel like this one break for you is going to be, you're just going to really want to celebrate that. And it's hidden information again, because even that movie is like, it's like a spy movie. And so it's like you're behind the scenes, or you're doing something in a covert way, but it's very aligned, and you're working maybe with other people to get the job done in some way. And I feel like this cone of protection as well, like the cone of silence can also be cone of protection, or a safe place for you to go to protect yourself, or to tune into your intuition, or to say, or like have a conversation. It's almost like you can enact the cone of silence. So you can have a conversation with your higher self, or your guides, or your angels, and then determine what you need to do. I am seeing the word near. So, and I'm also seeing the word year. Year and near makes me think that something this year is coming up quickly. Something is near. You're going to see something that you didn't before in this second half of the year. And you're going to get closer to something that you've been trying to get closer to, and you're going to free yourself from something that has been distorting. Yeah. I'm getting like double agent energy here with con, like a con man, or like a long con. Yeah, you have to really, really trust your intuition the second half of the year, because there's going to be some tests here around that. I just feel like you might need to get clear with yourself. Like the con may be that you've kind of conned yourself or convinced yourself of something that's not true. And that's what's created the 5 of Cups, 10 of Wands, 9 of Swords energy, like the stress, the worry, the overwhelm, the fear, not seeing things clearly, not being grounded, being emotionally overwhelmed, or stuck in pessimism or negative viewpoint. Like you might have to uncon yourself from some of those distortions so that the rest of the year is going to be much better. And you can get closer to what it is that's actually meant for you, and further away from what is not. Okay. I'm seeing the word reach, even though we don't have an H, but you're going to reach your goals. I feel like ambition is part of this, or your destined purpose. If you've been lonely, because they're showing me L and Y. It makes me think of only one. Again, there's only one of you. And so you might need to work with other people, or you might need to reach out, make these connections, but you need to be very discerning about who you trust. But I also see lonely as being like, if you've been lonely in the past and that's what's created this grief or this block or this restriction, they're saying reconnecting to yourself and your intuition is going to help you to reconnect with other people, or reconciling this pain from the past, maybe from this old relationship. That can help you to reconnect with people who are more aligned. But again, you're just going to have to trust your intuition with who those people are and what their intentions are. So use that drug sniffing dog to sniff out the fakes from the good people. There's good people there, but there's people who are trying to slip in. So you've got to just be very discerning. Let's get Astro Dice, and then we'll close out your reading. So for group number 1 for the second half of 2023. Sorry if that's loud. You've got the first house, Jupiter in Capricorn in the first house. So Jupiter is the planet of expansion, blessings, good luck, opportunity. It's the great benefic. So it really just blows everything up. So if, like, say for example, there was something negative, it's going to get blown up so you can see it, which is actually a good thing. If there was something positive, that's going to get blown up and you're going to get blessings, opportunities, breakthroughs. It's like your one shot. You're going to get discovered, or you're going to get support, or whatever it is that you've been kind of wanting or needing. Jupiter is going to help bless you with that. Capricorn, we did have earth sign energy here. So with the King of Autumn. So I get the sense that this earth sign energy, it could be something that you're activating within yourself. Like if this isn't an actual person, it's something you're activating in yourself that's going to boost your sense of self-worth, because you're going to be more disciplined and you're going to trust yourself more. That's going to get expanded, and that intuition and the blessings that come from your connection to self are really going to help you to see yourself more clearly and stop conning yourself. It's like you're no longer pulling the wool over your own eyes or telling yourself a yarn or a story that's not true. It's like you can actually start to create your own story in a more authentic and aligned way with that free will that you have being granted here, or being unlocked in more capacity. First house is your sense of self, your personal body, your like how you interact with the world as well. So I feel like you may really start respecting yourself more is what I'm getting. You're going to start respecting yourself more. You're going to start seeing yourself in a different light, and your intuition is really going to expand, and that's going to help you to interact with other people in a completely different way, and they're going to see you differently because of it, which may be why you are seen as like the only one who can do this job, or the only one who's meant for this, or the only one who has this specific type of skill or talent. It's like you're being discovered. Again, it's like your first house. You are being kind of put in the spotlight in some way, but in a very practical, grounded way. Blessings that come from that are going to be big. They might start out small, but they're going to expand and get bigger and bigger as you expand your reach and your creation, your growth through your free will and discernment. So that's what I see for you, group number 1, in the second half of 2023. This is looking like a very interesting second half of the year. Let me know how it plays out, or how this reading resonates. If you want to share your story in the comments below, feel free. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, I'm still accepting clients for the next 30 days at the time of this reading. It'll probably actually be less than that, but you can check on my website, which is linked in the description box below, if I'm still offering one-on-one services. If not, I will still be offering more indirect things like, well, you'll see. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. I love you. We'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, group number 2. Welcome to your rest of 2023 reading. So if you chose the pink star wand, then this is going to be your reading. Let's start off with your oracle cards. So you have blessed. Oh, this is so great. So the second half of 2023, really strong start here with blessed. You're going to be blessed. You have the building blocks to create what it is that you're looking to create. You're going to have help from the universe, is what I'm feeling right away. New love, a new person has stirred your romantic feelings. So this could be the building blocks for new relationships. It could be blessings that come through new love. Also getting the message here that this could be through new love for what you're doing, or new love in your life, like just having a new lease on life, or a spark for life, or just this feeling of new enjoyment of what it is that you're doing every day. You have the boar, So face your problems head on with confidence and courage, and you will emerge victorious. I feel like you're getting a lot of backup in the second half of 2023. Like you are seriously being given the keys or the passcodes or the entry to areas that you were not given before, and you're being given resources and tools to be able to love your life more. I just see a lot of angels around you supporting you, and it's like you have the courage to face your fears, you have the courage to face challenges or obstacles, and to build better, to build stronger, and to feel like you're truly blessed in the process of that. Let's keep going. Potent gateway. What was I just saying with like the keys to giving access to something? It's like you're being given access to something. There's a portal here, a gateway. There's new potential in the second half of this year for you, group number 2. And it's even in this gateway, it looks like there's a heart. So it feels like there's love at the core of this, whether it's romantic or otherwise. It's like there's love at the core of this. You have the King of Winter, knowledgeable, experienced, fair-minded, and unemotional. This is the King of Swords. So get advice from someone professional and objective, public speaking, and unemotional relationships. You have Light. And you have the 10 of Autumn. This is the 10 of Pentacles. Wow, you guys, the second half of 2023 is looking really good for you, group number 2. Take steps to ensure the financial security of your children or loved ones, making wise investments or planning for retirement, honoring family traditions. Okay, so let me just organize these. All right, so group number 2, as I was saying before, I feel like there's going to be a lot of blessings here. It's like the doorways are being opened, you're being given the tools and the resources. You are really being able to I see you forging ahead the second half of this year. It's like there's nothing that can stop you. You're just like a bulldozer moving through in a way that maybe you didn't before. Maybe you would have kind of danced around it, or you would have like gotten discouraged if there were obstacles in your way. And I feel like the second half of this year, you're just like, I'm not going to sit around and wait for good things to happen to me. I'm going to go after them. I'm going to build for the future. I'm going to make these gateways open for myself. I know that I'm blessed and being protected and guided. You have all these angels supporting you. You have all of these resources energetically, and you're seeing the light. It's like you're reaching for that higher perspective, that higher vision for your life and for your future. And you're doing it in a way that's really balanced, because I'm seeing the new love here and this gateway opening up to love. But at the same time, we have the King of Swords, which is very unemotional, detached, and very sort of logical and rational. So I see you kind of saying, you know what, I have this vision in my heart. I want to love my life. I want to love the people in it. Maybe it is quite literally about attracting new love as well. That could be the case. And if that's what you're wanting, then that's what I see you getting. We have like family connections here, stability, but I'm just seeing like you not taking any shit in the second half of 2023. You're like, this is what I want, and this is what I'm going after, and this is what I'm doing. You're being guided by your angels. You're being given a lot of energetic support. And like I said, those tools, it's like you're building something that's going to stand the test of time. The 10 of Autumn is the legacy card. It's like a lot of effort over a long period of time that ultimately creates something that's super long standing. And that's what I'm seeing you doing here with building blocks. It's like you're creating something that's going to last for generations. And it's creating a lot of opportunity for you in many areas of your life. You're gaining confidence, you're gaining money, you are gaining experience, you're gaining knowledge. Yeah, knowledge. I see you being knowledgeable. It quite literally says it right there. I forgot. So yeah, you're gaining a lot of knowledge. There's new hope, new vision, new inspiration for the future. And then because of that, because you're not taking no for an answer, because you're coming from the right place, i.e. this energy of love, but you're also being very rational and logical about it and moving forward consistently, I see that it's like opening up energetic portals or pathways for you. It's like you're aligning with the right timelines because you're embodying the right frequencies and you're listening to the guidance. Let's get some additional information. So from the tarot, what is the second half of, what is the second half of 2023 looking like for group number 2? This one as well. Okay, we'll start there and we'll see. The Fool. It's beautiful. I was watching earlier today The Fool's Journey and all about the Fool, and it was really interesting because the video was going into all about how the Fool is often seen as somebody who is foolhardy because they'll say things or they'll speak the truth or they'll go places in a way that other people would deem foolish because it's not conforming to society and what society deems as appropriate or as logical. So I do see you being very logical about this, but it's like you're following your heart in a way that maybe some people would think is a little foolhardy. Like maybe you don't necessarily see the full path ahead of you, but you're like, you know what, I feel it. And that to me is logical. So, and then you're like, because I feel it, I'm going to follow that. I'm going to open up to that. I'm going to use my energetic resources like manifestation, intention, frequency of emotion, physical action to back that up. And that's what's logical and practical about it. So it might not be like the quintessential logical and practical, but it's like you're learning and you're taking action in a really solid way. But I just feel like it's very loving. Like you're just having a great time the second half of the year. You have the 6 of Cups as well. So I feel like the blessings are going to be very emotionally satisfying and fulfilling blessings for you. This could be new love with somebody, a soulmate connection. It could be new love that comes in because they are showing me the Cupids in the background here. So it could be like Cupid's arrow, but I feel like it's either love for what you're doing or it's love within your relationships. You have Temperance. I feel like Temperance here is kind of talking about you having a little bit of patience. There's things that need to be built up. There's ways of doing that need to be done in a specific order. And that's maybe why the King of Winter is here as well. The King of Swords. He helps you to understand what it is that you're doing. He gives you the tools. He gives you the knowledge, really, because that's the biggest tool that you need is knowledge. And he can give you the know-how on and the lowdown is what I just heard. He can give you the lowdown on what you need to do and how you need to do it. And that way the mixture is the right consistency. You have the High Priestess. Wow. Light and the High Priestess and the King of Swords. This is so much knowledge, sacred knowledge, secret knowledge, hidden wisdom that you're tapping into. I also see this as you reaching toward the light, reaching for this knowledge. And it's like, as you seek, so shall you find. So as you open up and you ask these questions, you're going to get the answers. So for you, I feel like it's asking the right questions, or you are asking, or you have asked the right questions. And because of that, you're getting the right answers. And so you're able to take action and you're able to use those answers to build something very practical. You have the Page of Swords. I see you guys learning a lot in the second half of this year. You're starting fresh on something. You are opening up. You're in beginner mindset, even though you're very experienced. And that's the most wonderful thing, because we never really know everything. And that's another thing about the Fool, is that the fool who thinks they know everything is truly a fool. The wise person knows that they know nothing and then will call themselves a fool for trying to claim that they are wise. Does that make sense? So it's like if smart people think that they're stupid, and stupid people think that they're smart. And there's an actual term for that. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, it's like a mental bias. So I feel like you are opening up to the fact that even though you're quite experienced, you're getting back into beginner mindset and opening up to new information, because that's how you master things. That's how you continue to grow and evolve. You do have the Lovers here. So since you have new love and you have this potential gateway that's in the shape of a heart and you have the Lovers, this could definitely be a new romance or a new timeline of your current romance. Like if you're currently in a relationship and you are happy with that person. This could be just a new level of love that's opening up for you, because maybe you're gaining some knowledge about something and you are going with your intuition to help to heal maybe things from your childhood or from the past. This could be reactivating within you that innocence, because the Fool, the Page of Swords, and the Six of Cups are all very young and innocent energies. And then on this side, you have a lot of divine guidance, like the angels here, the angel here, all of these young little Cupid angels in new love. And then you have the High Priestess, who's kind of like the mother of the unseen. And so I just see you very blessed. We did get that card, but you're very blessed. You're very blessed by like this innocent enjoyment of life and this newness and this, it's like this, you know what it feels like? It feels like when a child opens their eyes for the first time and they're just in wonder at the world around them. Like they can't stop looking at everything. Like grass is so green. The sun is so bright. Everything is so fresh and new. And that's kind of the energy I'm getting for you for 2023, the second half of it. You are stepping into this next half of the year really refreshed and renewed. Your confidence is high. Your blessings are just raining down on you. You have a ton of guidance. And if you're looking for love, this is looking very positive. Okay. You have the Knight of Swords. Okay. And you also have the Five of Swords. Okay. So I feel like the Knight of Swords here is helping you to, I just heard the word break ground. So breaking ground on something, starting a new project, undergoing some kind of a transformation. It could be a mental transformation where you're learning about what you need to do to clear blocks out of the way, or to kind of get out of your own head or get out of your own way. I see your relationships with other people improving, and it's because you're coming at it with an open heart and an open mind. So I see a lot of openness in this energy. You're confident and you're a bulldozer in the sense that you're going after what you want, but you're not going to roll over anyone in the process of doing that, because it's all about the love. It's all about the balance. And so if there are people who in the past you would have really gotten triggered by and maybe snapped back at, you know, you would have responded or reacted in a way that wasn't necessarily in your integrity. I see you being more willing to understand and to see their perspective and to communicate in a way that is non-invasive, is the word I just heard, non-invasive. So it's like you're not being aggressive, you're being confident and assertive. Yeah. So rather than aggressive, you're being assertive, and you're speaking from your intuition here. It's like you're speaking from the heart. You're speaking from your higher self. And that's what brings in all these blessings, because you're staying in alignment, even when there's challenges, even if there's people who are triggered by what you're doing or the way you're doing it, or even if this is just in your own mind. It's like, I just see you communicating more effectively. And so because of that, there's more balance, and then there's more love, and then there's more opportunity. So let's now we're going to do runes and also some letters, and then we'll get the astro dice as well. Okay. So for group number 2 in the second half of this year, you have this rune. I still don't know them off by heart, so we're going to look at these together. Okay, they're telling me to grab 4, so we've got 3 and 4. Okay, there we go. Okay, so you have Ingus. This is a sense of calm, serenity, and human warmth. It's also about inner strength, grounding, bounty, and security. Okay, a sense of calm, serenity, and human warmth. I see a lot of like improved connections in your life in the second half of 2023. So new love, new connections, a greater sense of comfort, security, and peace and balance is really, you know, interpersonally going to be a theme, I think, in the second half of this year. Okay, let's see. You have purpoes, protection or self-discipline is needed to avoid chaos. This is adversity, rigor, harm, introspection, and conflicts. And we did see a little bit of that with the Five of Swords. So that's conflict, right? But I see you being able to protect from that, ward that off, or deal with it more effectively through self-discipline. And that's the openness that we're seeing there, the trusting, the open-heartedness, the balance of the intellect and the intuition. It's an open heart, an open mind. So I see you being willing to understand, and because of that, you're actually decreasing and avoiding chaos. Ooh. Lagos, it's a renewal of dreams, flow of emotions, and the unconscious mind. It's time to trust your intuition and honor your receptive side. We do see that there in the reading with the High Priestess and various other cards that were talking about that. That message was definitely coming through. So the renewal of your dreams is you reaching for the light. The trusting of your intuition and your heart is a major theme in the second half of this year. It's like you're going to be in alignment with the vision and taking the actions as you're being guided to take them. It's like your intuition is on point. Your angels are giving you information every step of the way, and you're making progress because of that. And it's improving your finances. It's improving your your purpose, your mission, whatever it is that you're working toward. And it's also improving your relationships as a byproduct of you being in alignment and feeling that sense of joy and love. This is Irvaz. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it lends strength and provides a sense of purpose. It's a turning point, a confrontation, profound changes, and can also represent death. So strength and a sense of purpose. Yeah, the strength to be able to move forward towards your goals. It's like that sense of I'm going for it. That sense of purpose was literally just something I was talking about right before I read that rune description. And I also see this as, a major turning point for you. And you're facing confrontation in a completely different way than you did in the past. So where confrontation may have been very triggering and caused a lot of disconnection in the past, now you're facing confrontation head on. You're facing the challenges with, again, open heart, open mind, alignment, intuition, and that inner guidance. And because of that, it's like a massive transformation for you. And it's really super positive. Now let's get some letters to see what else wants to come through for you. Whoops. Okay, well, I'll take it. Seeing the word shot, and then it's like shots. You may be very open to new connections. I just see you also like taking your shot. So if there's somebody that you want to communicate with, you go and you shoot your shot and you connect with them, you communicate with them, you make the first move. Or if there's something that you want to be doing, it's like you're going to take a shot at it and you're not going to hold back anymore. You're moving forward with confidence, with patience, with trust, with openness, because you're being guided through the whole process and you know that it's meant to be for you. So it's like you're more willing to kind of relax into that beginner mindset and just allow yourself to grow as you go along. This ZE is making me think of Zen. So it's like you're very peaceful, you're very calm as you go through this. You may be meditating more in the second half of 2023 because you do have a lot of like High Priestess energy, intuition. You're connected to the more expanded self. I think that's what's giving you this access to your heart chakra in this really highly evolved way. Maybe even your high heart chakra is what I'm also feeling. So this is giving you access to that fifth dimensional frequency and opening your mind to the sixth dimensional realm is what they're actually showing me. So it's like you're stepping up both of those areas into higher frequency bandwidths. You're no longer operating at the third dimensional or even just fourth dimensional level. So you are more aligned with that all truth is what they're saying. All truth. Okay. Oops. Okay, I'm getting the word test. And when I think of test, I think of you testing things out, not necessarily being tested, although you might be. Okay, let's just put it that way. In the second half of this year, you may have some tests, but it's not going to be like the harsh tests of, like, say for example, a tower moment or a dark night of the soul. This is more of a gentle test. So it's like little tweaks, or little experiences or happenstance. I just heard the word happenstance. So little occurrences that might test you and see how kind of grounded and and open you are. And because my throat chakra just kind of seized up on me there, this is very much to do with your communication, your ability to communicate clearly. We did see that with the Knight of Swords and the Five of Swords. So I see that the tests may be in how you're communicating, when you're communicating, and why you're communicating. Now, the other aspect of test that I'm seeing is relating to the Temperance card. So the Temperance card, I kind of in my mind always see it as like somebody in a lab with all these test tubes, and they're kind of like trying out different mixtures, like a scientist experimenting to kind of get an idea of what goes together and what doesn't, and what the reactions will be. And they're very patient with it because they don't know what the outcome will be. And so they're not necessarily even kind of looking for a goal. They're more just like open to discovery. And that's what I was seeing with all the cards on this side as well, like the Six of Cups, the Fool card, and yeah, just that energy of being kind of open to learning. The Page of Swords is also very much about kind of testing the waters and kind of seeing what will work. So I get the sense that you're going to be just kind of testing things out to see what works. You're kind of like shooting your shot, like you're practicing shooting shots, because they're showing me in my mind, like Michael Jordan out in the backyard when he was a kid, shooting shots at the basket. And it's like, yeah, and you probably will miss a bunch of them, but you're also going to refine your technique, and you're going to see and find out what works for you. You're going to test out different techniques to see what works best and what's most effective. So you're doing it because you love it, because it gives you a sense of purpose, but you're also doing it in a way that's very methodical. And that's, again, that it's like you're balancing both sides of the equation here, and that's what gives you a really good result. Okay, I am getting the word stole, so I want to ask what this is about. Okay, I'm also getting the word chest. I think these two are related. That's why they kind of had me spell that out while I was tuning into this one. Okay, so chest makes me think of the heart chakra, especially since we are seeing new love here. Stole is something being taken from you. Obviously, that's pretty straightforward. What I'm feeling from this is that somebody stole your heart. Somebody may be stealing your heart in the second half of this year. So we did see new love there. There is a gateway that's opening to love, if that's something that you're looking for. In the other half of the equation here, I'm also seeing stole, the chest, as like past experiences. Nope. They're like, nope, this isn't about the past. This isn't about somebody stealing from you in a negative sense. This is somebody stealing your heart in the sense that they open you up and you give them your heart. It's very innocent. It's very loving. It's very honest. So even though we have the word stole here, which can evoke connotations of negativity, thievery, deception, that's not at all what I'm getting here. The angels are saying, no. They're going to steal your heart and you're going to be completely on board with that. So, yeah. The ST here is making me think of star. And we did have light here. So it does feel like even this like twinkling star right here. So it feels like there's like hope. It's like hope is being renewed. Innocence is being restored. Balance is coming back into place. And serenity. Yeah, serenity and that inner zen. I'm just feeling like very peaceful energy from you, group number 2. And yet you're doing a lot in the second half of this year. But you're really enjoying it. You're really enjoying it. Okay, so I did spell this earlier and then I was like, no. But now it's back. So whenever the message keeps coming through like that, it means I need to talk about it. So thought stands for that hoe over there. And, but what I'm getting from this is kind of like, you're going to be being observed, like not in a negative sense, although some people might view it that way. Like if you're standing out and you have like this star power, because we did just have the word star as well. So if you have star power, people might think that you're like, oh, that hoe over there. You know, it's because they're jealous, because they're triggered, or because they feel insecure or inadequate in the face of your confidence, your balance, and your open-heartedness. So that can be very threatening to some people, especially if you're being blessed really heavily. That can trigger people who feel like it should be them, or they haven't experienced that. But the thing is that if it's happening, you made that happen. You know what I mean? And if it's not happening for them, it's because they haven't taken the steps to make that happen. So I feel like let's is kind of like, let them talk, let them do whatever they're going to do. Just keep focusing on what you're doing. Keep focusing on the higher experience, really. Focus on the love, focus on the truth of your inner experience rather than what other people are saying or directing your way. Because thought can also be like THOUGHT. Is that THOUGHT? Yeah, thought, like the realms of thought and the mind. You have a lot of swords cards in your reading. So the second half of this year is going to be a lot about how you're thinking. Don't let other people's thinking rub off on you. Stay in your own lane. Focus on your goals. Focus on what you are learning and how you're creating balance, because that is what's going to let you through these gateways, portals, or open doors that Spirit is helping you to open. They're not opening them for you. You are opening those doors, group number 2. But they're helping you to see how to do that. They're guiding you through the process, and then you're the one walking the path. So like you've really earned these blessings because you're doing the work. So don't let other people's jealousy or envy get to you, because you're meant to have it. You're meant to receive these blessings because you've put in the effort. And that's what's fair. I see, oops. This makes me think of like c'est la vie. C'est la vie is just kind of like, yeah, like let it be. C'est la vie, let it be, let it go. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Hot. You may be looking extra hot in the second half of this year. You may be taking really good care of your body. You may be just feeling more confident, and that's what makes you attractive. And again, this could be why people are kind of assuming, you know, oh, that hoe over there or something like that. Yeah, and if you're a male, if you're a man, then you could be very attracted to a hot girl over there. Let's just put it that way. And she might steal your heart, and you'll be very happy about that, because you're like, let's go, like let's do this together. I'm ready. Yeah, and just releasing any attachment to outcome. I see the c'est la vie as kind of like releasing and letting go any attachment to outcome, just letting things unfold very naturally, not being focused on what the result will be, more just focusing on the process of building and the experimentation and the testing of what works and what doesn't, and the application of your confidence, as well as the new mindset in regard to your learning. Blessings are going to come in left, right, and center is what they just told me. So seize the day, because this is also making me, this SZ is making me think of seize. C'est la vie and seize the day, carpe diem. Yeah. So let it go and then seize the day. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, let's do Astro Dice. So for group number 2, in the second half of 2023, what do they need to know? Ooh, you have Pluto in Sagittarius in the 10th house. Okay, Sagittarius has been coming out in like every single reading. So if you have Sagittarius energy, or there's a Sagittarius house in your chart that is being activated, or you have planets in Sagittarius, look at those in your natal chart astrologically to see what's going on here, and let me know in the comments, because Sagittarius has come up in like every single reading. It's crazy. So Pluto is transformation. Pluto is death and rebirth. We did see that with one of the runes. I think it was this one. So death and transformation, but I see it in a very innocent, lighthearted way. It's not like a heavy sort of dark night of the soul death. It's more like you're just shedding the layers and in a very optimistic, almost foolhardy way where you're just kind of leaving behind anything that once used to weigh you down or bog you down, and you're just like, c'est la vie, whatever, it doesn't matter. You're just kind of living life very lighthearted, very casually, and it's beautiful. And yet at the same time, you're very goal-oriented and driven, and yet relaxed. It's such a bizarre energy. I'm trying to describe it the best I can, group 2, but like I just get the sense that you're driven, purposeful, goal-oriented, but you're open to learning along the way. You're not attached to the outcome. You're just enjoying the process. You're very logical, but you're also very intuitive and open-hearted. You're confident and assertive, but you're also kind of testing the waters in how you communicate. It's like a whole potpourri is kind of what I'm seeing in my mind. It's like a potpourri, a whole melange or mix of different things. And it's like somehow it's creating such beautiful outcome or such a beautiful result. Now, the 10th house is to do with your career, your public image, your life purpose, your long-term goals. We did see the 10 of Pentacles. They're reminding me here. So this is like long-term progress in your growth, in your money, in your work. I see expansion here as well. So Pluto can also speak of power and control. So you might be stepping into a leadership position in a very big way. You might become a leader or somebody who directs in a way, like a director. Yeah, you might be directing something. Yeah, 10th house, we did get that message of purpose coming up, and 10th house is very much about your purpose. So I get the sense that you're just feeling extra purposeful in the second half of this year, and that's really helping you to drive forward and make progress, but again, in a very sort of detached, open, relaxed, childlike way. It's a very interesting combination. I love it. I'm really here for it. You know, I'm getting almost like artistic vibes from it. You know, it's like you're so in tune with spirit that you're just all about the creativity and the process of that. And you're open to love, and you're open to growth in your goals, and you're open to learning, and you're also open to just relaxing and having fun. It's really beautiful. Lovely energy. And I'm so happy to see that for you, group number 2. So yes, that's what I see for the second half of 2023 is a lot of love and innocence, growth, expansion, purpose, testing, intuition, confidence, action, prosperity. Like I could go on, but you've been here for the reading, so I'll leave it at that. Okay. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I love you. I'm sending you so many blessings for the second half of this year and beyond, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, group number 3. Welcome to your second half of 2023 reading. If you chose the green wand and this pile, let's take a look at your oracle cards. So you have mending. Okay. Serendipity. Getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Okay. You have cheetah, get clear on your intention, stay focused, and move quickly to achieve your goals. Make a wish. Number 1 here really standing out to me. So the number 1 being about a new beginning of some kind. I'm also hearing the word independence. So 1 can also be, about yourself, the self, independence. Okay. You have new beginnings. Yeah, they were focusing me on the 1. So yeah, it's like a new beginning for yourself. You're stepping out in a new way. So this is the Fool card. Let me put that over here. Okay. And you have the 5 of Summer, which is the 5 of Cups. Trust that there is a reason for everything that happens. Remove yourself from the negative emotions of others, focusing on that which frightens or worries you. So really, it's like, don't focus on that which frightens or worries you. Okay. You also have the Prince of Winter, intellectual, determined, focused, and impulsive. It's about seeking out an intellectual solution to your problem, the need to act quickly and decisively, sudden or unexpected changes. So, Knight of Swords, I think. Yeah. Okay. So, group number 3. I'm seeing a couple of different things here. I think that you are repairing a relationship this second half of the year. So mending, getting to know each other, and the 5 of Summer is speaking to me of you kind of, yeah, I just get the sense that you might be repairing something that happened in the past that kind of hurt you emotionally. It was disappointing. It doesn't necessarily have to be a relationship. It could be kind of an outcome that challenged you or that made you feel like you weren't good enough, and you're repairing the relationship with yourself as a result. I see you being very determined in the second half of this year. The Cheetah and the Prince of Winter are all about determination, focus, being quick to act. Both of these are very fast moving energies. So you're being very quick to act in regard to what you're determined to do or to accomplish. And like we saw with these 2 cards, there's a new beginning. So you're making a wish and you're putting it into action, or you're sending it out there. You have good luck, and the universe is kind of reorienting things to support you in this process. And I just feel like you're getting to know yourself. Maybe that's why we have this card, because I don't necessarily even feel somebody else here. I was kind of picking up on maybe you're repairing a relationship with someone, but that someone could just be yourself. Because the 1 energy is all about the self and your independence. And the Fool's journey is like a very subjective experiential thing, and the fool is you, right? Like, we're all the fool, and we're all on our fool's journey. It's the hero's journey, and we're all the protagonist of that story for ourselves. So I get the sense that you are discovering who you are at a core level, getting to know yourself better, revealing your innermost self to yourself, and your bond is deepening because of that. It's like you're mending your relationship with you. This could be with your inner child, because they're showing me this little girl. They're both technically little girls, but for whatever reason, this one is looking like an inner child to me. And then this one, because she's up higher, is kind of like the present self. So I feel like you're going back into things that just kind of set you back. It's funny because she's like a moth in this card. And there's a moth in my window that I saw it a split second before I noticed that this card has a moth wings and everything. So moths are about death, rebirth, transformation, seeking the light as well. So I feel like you're bringing some pain from the past into the light, and you're healing yourself. Yeah, you've wished to be free from this. I'm getting definitely childlike energy. You've wished to be free from this, and so you're making that happen. Yeah, you're addressing the pain from the past that your inner child experienced, and you're kind of like bringing them into your arms and saying, you know what, I want to get to know you, and this pain is part of it. So let me hold that for you, or we'll hold it together. And that's helping you inadvertently to move really quickly in other areas of your life. So the more that you do this internal work, the more that you're going to see progress in your capacity to move forward. It's like you're going to trust yourself more, is what I'm getting. So that's not only going to help you to take action and to set things in motion, but it's also going to put you in the right frequency to align with things that are going to support you in that process. So let's get some clarifiers here from the Rider-Waite. Actually, let me just clear the deck. Okay. So for group number 3, those 3, not that one. Okay. Group number 3, what do they need to know about the second half of 2023? And that's it. Okay. So you have the Strength card. It does take strength to do this mending. It does take strength to face your disappointments from the past and to face the fears and the pain of the inner child. It definitely takes a lot of gentleness. It's easy to be hard. It's hard to be gentle. So instead of being rough with yourself which is maybe what you did in the past. You're being gentle with yourself, which is a lot harder, takes a lot more discipline. And we did see that here with discipline and focus. You're finding an intellectual solution to this problem because this pain, this disappointment, this old version of you, it's like you're transforming that and you're bringing that into the light. You're doing some shadow work in the second half of this year. Look at that. You have the Five of Cups again. Five of Summer and the Five of Cups are the same card from two different decks. So whenever we get a double card like that, it's really talking about the emphasis on this. So it's like you're definitely meant to be focusing on healing this disappointment, healing these wounds from the past, and doing some emotional work, maybe with some intellectual perspective and some inner strength and grace and gentleness to help you to kind of look at this, hold it gently, not hurt it or restrict it or judge it. Just allow it to be, and then you're being able to mend and release. And then again, the bond between you and yourself is deepening, and then you've got victory. So the Six of Wands here is the victory card. You will be very successful at this. So even though it's requiring a lot of discipline from you and a lot of strength, it's going to bring you some success. And I'm seeing it as external success too. So it's not just like an internal victory, although that's a big part of it. I see that the second half of this year, it's like you're doing some shadow work and then you're taking action and you're moving really quickly and things are playing out in a very aligned way because you've done that inner work. So there's nothing kind of like dragging you back or holding you back. It's like the fear has been addressed, the pain has been addressed, the disappointment, any of that, the unconscious material. It's like you've held space for it. And so it's no longer impeding you or creating resistance to what it is you want to be doing. So you're doing it. And then you get the result of that. The Sun card. Oh, I love it. The inner child is definitely present in the second half of this year for you, the Sun. I mean, even look at the child in this card. It's like you're evoking the inner child within you and doing some pretty major healing. The Sun card is also about healing. It's illumination. It's moving toward the light, like I was seeing with the moth energy there. So you're moving toward the light. You're bringing darkness into consciousness. You're doing shadow work, and you're coming out very successful, victorious with massive growth. There's going to be cause for celebration. The Three of Cups here is that celebration. So you're going to definitely have something to celebrate because you've been putting in the work, and then you're going to have outcomes that are worthy of celebration because of that. You have Justice. Feels like you're balancing out some karma. Let's put it that way. Second half of this year, you're balancing out some karma by focusing on your inner strength to heal. Heal those old disappointments, pains, losses, grief, things that need to die. And you're comforting the inner child in a way that allows you to trust yourself and to be very successful moving forward. You have very fast movement here. The Chariot card is all about success. It's similar to the Six of Wands, where the Six of Wands is kind of like a smaller victory. The Chariot card is a massive victory and driving towards success. It's movement, it's fast movement, it's determined, it's leadership energy. I get the sense that because you have the cheetah and the Prince of Winter and the Chariot, it's like you're really moving forward quickly. The second half of this year, it's like you're doing that internal work, and then it's just like, boom, right away, you're into action and you're really driving forward successfully. Leadership energy here, again, with the King of Wands too. So you are stepping into a major new level of your growth and development is what I'm seeing here. So the second half of this year, you might actually be very creative as well. You might be getting creative support. You might be enjoying creating and then traveling to sell what you've created or as a result of what you've created. I don't know. I'm getting that message of the King of Wands. I'm just getting like travel and movement. I'm feeling movement in the second half of your year. So there could be short distance travel, long distance travel. I think it's going to come as a result of healing this karma, balancing out these shadows and these wounds. Again, it just feels like it frees you, and then you're able to move really quickly like the cheetah. So there's nothing kind of encumbering you or holding you back or creating that resistance anymore. So it's like everything just kind of opens up. And you're able to go out confidently, because they're showing me the Chariot like leaving the city walls. He's no longer needing to stay in his comfort zone. He's able to move out and into the unknown because he knows that he has the strength and the capacity and the leadership to be able to go out there, be successful, dominate, but like in the best possible way, in a gentle way, right? You're not dominating with control and aggression. You're dominating with gentleness and compassion and like this inner resolve and strength. Again, just determination is what I really get from you. And it's going to prove fruitful. Group number 3, you are seriously manifesting a lot of really positive outcomes for yourself. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so let's grab... We're going to do runes, letters, and then we're also going to get the astro dice. So let me just clear this away, balance this out. Okay, so let's grab a couple of runes for you. So for group number 3, feel this one. Okay, I still don't know the runes off by heart, so we're going to look at the guide information together. I feel this one as well. Okay, group number 3. Okay. They're telling me to get 5. Oh, you have the blank rune. I know that this one's about free will, self-determination, personal choice, unlimited potential. Group number 3. And this one. Okay. So let's take a look. Awaz. This is about transportation, motion, duality, and change. It directs towards something new. It's a spiritual journey or some kind of movement or travel. Yeah, so that's kind of what I was saying, right? Like second half of this year, I'm feeling like there's movement, and that's how I'm going to remember it, like the because I'm still trying to learn the runes. M is for movement, so Awaz is about motion. Okay, so yeah, I feel like there's some pretty significant changes or motion coming for you in the second half of this year. You have Ansuz, which brings a message of insight, inspiration, or blessings. It's also about leadership, truth, wisdom, and communications. Yes, leadership is also a big theme that we've seen here coming up in your reading several times. So movement, motion, fast, speed, leadership, and success and victory. So I also want to take a look at this one. This is Fehu. It gives power over one's environment. It's also about wealth, property, opulence, cowardice, and slavery. Okay, so I feel like where you were afraid in the past, you are gaining mastery over that. And you're mastering or giving power to yourself over your own internal environment. And then by extension, that creates a lot of success. Like, let's just put it that way. Wealth, property, blessings. We've seen that with these runes. So that's what's going to be very successful, cause for celebration, and it's karmically balanced. Yeah. So the blank rune, like I said before, it's about free will. So the blank rune is the space for free will, and it's about creating your own destiny. So you are creating your own destiny in the second half of this year. Nothing is really kind of set in stone, but it's beautifully open to interpretation, and you're doing a really great job at that. I think this is Jera. Benefit from your earned successes. Change is coming. So this is about harvest, sequence, cycles ending, and outcomes. All right, so you have this new beginning coming as a result of a sequence of events, and it does feel like you're benefiting from earned successes. Like I said, it's like you're putting in the work to deal with the mending of your relationship with yourself, your heart, your past, and because of that, you're creating balance and karmic cause and effect or outcome that leads to this success, this movement, this opportunity for just like anything goes, because the new beginning energy, the Make-A-Wish card, and the blank rune, it's like whatever you want in the second half of 2023 can be yours, group number 3. So it's all about what you want to create. And they're drawing my attention to the fact that group 3, numerologically, number 3 is about new beginnings, especially new beginnings of creativity. So whereas the number 1 is a brand new beginning and it's very focused on the self, the number 3 is about creative expression and new beginnings within your relationships or within what you're creating or producing. And so I'm seeing that with especially with the 3 of Cups here. just feels like you're going to be coming together with other people and emotionally collaborating on something that is going to help you move forward towards your success and feel like you are victorious and you're in a leadership position and you're being very strong, you're moving fast, and you are really decisive. I just see you being like, I want this, I don't want that. You're able to make decisions really quickly and to act accordingly because your inner child is no longer cowering or hiding or feeling left behind. It's like you're taking that part of you with you in your arms, and so you're just so much more confident. You're just so much stronger because you're united with yourself. Okay, so let's take a look at your blocks. So we're going to get letters, and we're going to see what comes up here. Okay, so I'm seeing the and 6. So the 6 makes me think of Drake. Like the 6, like number 6 is representative of Toronto. But anyways, I'm also seeing like this could be something about the number 6. 6 represents, they're pointing me to the 6 of Wands. So 6 is success, it's harmony, it's balance. It's also about companionship, they're telling me. I didn't know that. 6s can represent companionship, apparently. Okay. It could be like the 6 of us, like there's a group of 6. Maybe it's 3 people and 3 people coming together. I'm not sure. So take that how it resonates, or just put it in your back pocket for later to see if something comes up around it. But I'm also seeing the word who. So there's a definite focus on your relationships with people and how you connect to them, or who is relevant to, this next stage. I don't know. It feels very much like there's going to be interactions with other people in the 6. That's so weird. I meant to say in the second half of 2023 in the 6. Okay, what is that about? Maybe some of you are going to Toronto. I don't know. I'm just tuning in and trying to get more information on 6 because they keep emphasizing it, but I don't know what they're trying to say. Okay, they're giving me the word sixfold. So something could be, I don't even know the word for that. Like I know quadrupling, but it's like sextupling. I don't know. Okay, they drew me to host. I was seeing a whole bunch of different words too. Like I see more than what I end up spelling, but I feel into intuitively if it's relevant, because sometimes I'll see like irrelevant words, and they'll tell me if I've hit on something. I'm seeing the word host here. So you could be going somewhere, you could be hosting something, or somebody could be hosting you. And it's something to do with the number 6, but I don't know what that means. So maybe you'll figure it out. Maybe you just need that prompt, and then you'll get the context for it later, because that happens a lot in readings. That actually came up for me earlier today. I watched a reading, and then I watched another reading, and there were these clues, like these puzzle pieces. And then, hours later, I'm seeing a different thing in my life that was reflecting more information on those two little clues or puzzle pieces. So just kind of like remember or put it in the back of your mind, and then when that information comes in, you'll know what it means or what it was meant to be about. So anyway, I feel like there's like, this could be a wedding that you're going to, because I did see the word wed and they just drew me back to it. So there could be a wedding that you're going to. You may be traveling to that. This could be you hosting a wedding in the 6. I don't know. I keep getting that, but yeah. Oh, look at that. Ghost. Ghosts of your past. Yeah, because the 5 of Cups is kind of like the past. You're ruminating on the past. but you're mending the past with strength, with courage, with determination, and obviously with success here. So I feel like ghosts from your past may be coming up. These could be triggered by other people, like maybe you're going somewhere that you used to spend a lot of time, or you're going to a wedding and you see people from your past, because the Three of Cups can also be about reunion. Usually it's a happy reunion, right? Like even in the image you can see like they're all toasting together, and they do that a lot at weddings. So you may be going to a wedding in the second half of this year. And I don't think it'll be a bad thing. I think the ghost energy here is kind of like you're calling up the ghosts of your past and reconciling with them. You're being able to hold space for them in a way that creates a lot of progress, movement, and sixfold, something being times by 6. Or maybe it's like 6 people and you're coming back together and having a reunion. I don't know. Seeing hide. And I'm seeing worst. We don't have an R, but that's what they're showing me is worst. So hiding the worst. I feel like you've hid the worst from yourself, and now you're having the strength to address it. And again, it's going to be worth it to do that. So, go ahead. Look inward, do that inner work, because your worst is not something you need to hide. I feel like the more that you accept it and the more that you bond with yourself and have compassion and grace and be gentle with yourself, the more confident you're going to be, and the more that you can actually show up as the real you in the world and have other people appreciate you for that. Because I feel like what you think is the worst of you, people actually are going to respect, or they'll be able to relate to, or it'll humanize you. You know what I mean? It's like if you've been in a leadership position and you've been trying to only show the most perfect version of you, I feel like you doing some of this inner shadow work is going to help you to be a little bit less perfect and to actually have people resonate with you more. It's like showing that vulnerability makes you humanized. It makes you more relatable, and then people trust you more because of that. And it can also help you to bond with other people more. Like you're getting to know these other people, maybe from your past, maybe they're new people, but I just feel like you're not going to hide the worst anymore, because you've reconciled with it, you honor it. And so it's not like you need to trauma dump on anybody or anything like that. It's more just like if you are building these relationship connections, you're being honest about who you are, where you've been, and what you're all about. And people respect that, and they're gonna be wanting to bond more with you because you've bonded with yourself. And it's just that mirroring effect that we get, as we are, so we create an experience. They are giving me the word ox. So I feel like this is you being strong as an ox. They just gave me the phrase strong like bull, but it's like you're as strong as an ox. And we did have the strength card, and especially with the chariot as well. It's like the chariot is pulled by these strong beasts. Sometimes it's sphinxes, sometimes it's horses, maybe it's a couple of oxes, who knows? Oxen, I should say. But I just feel like you're going to be very strong, and that strength is going to be recognized. So you're not going to be inclined to shy away from anything that you need to do, any shadow work or any imperfection or anything, any task that you need to take on. You're just like, okay, like I can do this. You move quickly, you move speedily. I just heard you move with stealth. So since we do have the word hide here, this makes me think that you might be doing some things a little bit low key. So it's not that you're hiding it in like a deceitful way. It's more just like you are doing a lot of that internal behind the scenes work in stealth. And then you're able to like come out into the open and be very public, because we did have the King of Wands, and did we have the Sun card? Yes, we did. We had the Sun card and the King of Wands and the Chariot and the Six of Wands. These are all very public energies. And so I just get the sense that you're doing a lot of behind the scenes work that allows you to show up publicly in a really strong, grounded, practical, loving, compassionate, fair way that people are really going to gravitate towards and respect. I just got the message that somebody here is a lawyer, or you work in like a law office or something like that. I feel like you're going to be getting notoriety in the second half of this year. If this message is for you, people are going to be recognizing your strength, and they're going to be giving you some of like the worst cases, but it's like going to be a good thing. It's like, yeah, because they're challenging and they know that you're strong enough to handle it. Okay. So yeah. And you're going to be very victorious with that. People are going to be celebrating, like you're going to be going out for drinks after you win the case or whatever the case is. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, they're giving me the word toast, even though we don't have all the letters for that, but with the Three of Cups, they are toasting, and they keep kind of reiterating that to me. So you're going to be toasting. All of you are going to be having something to celebrate in the second half of this year. There is a part of you that needs to die. There's some stuff from the past that you're leaving behind. We did see that with the moth energy. It's death, transformation. You're releasing and letting go. And that's what allows you to have this new beginning with the Fool energy. And it's so I don't think it's like a bad death. It's like, yeah, you're able to just let go and release with grace and strength that which came before, which is no longer relevant to you anymore. So you're able to toss that out, because they just showed me the word toss here as well. So you're able to toss that out. Didn't we have something about a wedding? They may be like tossing the bouquet. I don't know. Let's see. Tied the knot. Mending is about kind of like tying things together, bringing things together. You could have been karmically tied to something in the past, and now you're freeing yourself from it. And that's why you're moving so quickly. We did see that message coming up with the cards. So yeah, I just get the sense that you're going ahead for whatever reason. They just gave me GH, going ahead. You're going ahead. You're not going to wait around anymore in the past. You're moving into the future, or rather the present, because the present is really the only thing that we can operate from. And that's what allows us to create the future. Okay. They showed me jet, and then they also showed me Jedi. So jet makes me think of movement and travel. We did see that theme coming up. Motion, the Chariot, Six of Wands, the Knight of Swords. All of these are very movement-oriented cards. So you might be traveling on a jet plane or going somewhere specific. You could be traveling for the wedding, or traveling to meet people, or traveling for work. Jedi makes me think of, again, the light versus dark. We did see that with the moth energy. So it's kind of like Jedis also make me think of stealth and like fluidity and skill. It's like you're a Jedi master. You've mastered the light. You've mastered the darkness within yourself. And that's what allows you to be a Jedi. It's like you're going to use the Force. Didn't we have serendipity under here? I'm pretty sure we did. Yeah, we did. So serendipity is kind of like you being in the flow of the Force and being able to, move that. Cool. Master Yoda. Yeah, I feel like you're going to be really powerful second half of this year, guys. Okay. So they did give me the word twist. We don't have a second T, but that's what they're showing me is twist. And it's funny because then I went, oh, Twix. It's like two, it's like two things in one. But anyway, the twist makes me think of like an unexpected twist, or what a twist, so there's something unexpected that you're not being given full access to, but it's because I just touched that card unconsciously. I just didn't even mean to do that. But, so it has something to do with serendipity. It has something to do with victory. It has something to do with a success of some kind. So the twist will be good, but it's not something you're going to be expecting. And it could be even a twist that you are initiating, because they're drawing my attention back to the blank rune. So it's kind of like something that your free will is putting into motion. And so you're creating a twist. Maybe people don't expect it of you, but like you're doing something in stealth. You're doing like Jedi mind tricks in a way, almost, like these are not the droids you're looking for. And you're able to kind of like move things around in a way that serves you, but like in a very light-based way. You're not doing it in the dark. You're not doing it in malevolence or anything like that. It's very positive. And again, you've cultivated a lot of strength to be able to do that. Yeah, it just feels like, what a twist. Okay, now let's get the Astro Dice. Okay, so for group number 3 in the second half of 2023, what do they need to know? You have, oh crap. What was it? Yeah, it was this one. It was Jupiter. Okay. Yeah. So you have Jupiter in Cancer in the 8th house. Okay. So Jupiter expands things. Jupiter also makes me think of travel because it does rule travel, especially long distance travel. We did have jet there, so you could be going on a plane in the second half of this year. Cancer is the home and the emotions and doing that internal emotional healing work. It's also the mother energy, so that's kind of what I'm getting here is like you are going somewhere to reconnect with your inner child, or you're connecting with your inner child, and then that's creating movement externally. The 8th house is a lot of different things. It can be debt, other people's money, taboos, sex, contracts. It can be karma. It can be hidden things, the subconscious mind. It rules so many different things. And I feel like there's a lot of those themes in your reading. We did see like shadow work, and we did see something to do with the subconscious and how you relate to your inner child or how you relate to your past. I get the sense that you're going to be doing that emotional healing work in a big way. Like it's going to expand you a lot and maybe even put you again, like I keep saying, leadership position. You're going to be put into a leadership position, or you're going to be taking on a leadership position, which may give you more money. 8th house can also be about inheritances. So you might be inheriting some inner gift through the clearing of this karma, through the action you're taking, and through your free will. It's like, it's a twist of some kind. It's unexpected, but it's definitely welcomed. It's like the answer to a wish that you've had. So I don't see this as like inheritance of money from somebody who's passed on, although we did have the word die, so I'm not going to rule that out. But I just also feel like it's an inheritance of the soul. And because you're coming back into connection with yourself and mending the relationship with you, you are re-inheriting all of your natural gifts, because they are drawing my attention back to Jedi. So you're re-inheriting all of your natural gifts, and that's what's creating so much fast movement and motion and travel and leadership and expansion and skill and celebration. Your wish is really coming true in a very synchronized, serendipitous way, because Jupiter is also about blessings. So Jupiter comes in and it wants to expand things. It wants to help you learn and travel and grow, but it's also the great benefic. So it brings you blessings of abundance, blessings of strength, blessings of movement, travel, freedom, opportunity, just really anything that you want, because it's all about you, second half of this year, group number 3. Yeah, I'm just getting very nurturing energy from Cancer. So nurture your inner child, mother or father, or reparent your inner child in this way. And that's what's really going to give you the edge. It's like, it's the behind the scenes work that really makes you progress quickly in the second half of this year. So go for it, group number 3. That is what I see for you. Beautiful second half of the year. Lots going on. We have many different themes, but that deep inner child work is going to seriously spur you forward. Massive progress, big leadership and growth and success. Yeah, have fun with that. Okay, group number 3, it sounds like it's going to be great. Lots of progress, travel, and opportunity. So let me know how it goes. Come back 6 months from now and put it in the comments if you remember, because I'm curious. But for now, I'll just have to make do with what I felt energetically from this. So sending you guys lots and lots of love, blessings, support, and guidance through the rest of the year and beyond. And we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, group number 4. If you chose the purple wand and this pile, then this is going to be your second half of 2023 reading. So let's go ahead and take a look at your oracle cards. Then we'll grab tarot and some letters and the astro dice as well. Okay, so you have round and round. You have to the sea. The number 7 is really standing out to me. I feel like 7 days, for whatever reason, that's immediately what I'm getting. 7 days, something is happening in 7 days from whenever you're watching this. It could be the 7th month as well, but I'm feeling it like a week's time. Okay, you have passion, allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. You have the cat. It's time to strike out on your own and relinquish your over-dependency on others. This may be what the cycle of round and round is, because I'm feeling like it's some kind of a karmic cycle or something that's been repeating for quite some time, and you're ready to let it go. Heartache and loss. Okay, yes. So definitely some healing taking place. This is the Three of Swords. So the Three of Swords is pain, heartache, loss, obviously. But it's also, I usually see this come up in like personal readings in regard to a pattern or a karmic cycle that's repeating and continuing to bring back around the same type of person or the same type of experiences or circumstances. So I feel like you're letting that drift out to sea, because I wanted to put it here with this. So it's like you're letting that move away from you. Okay, you have be your best self always. They're really drawing my mind to the numbers in this reading. So you've got 25 and 24. Feels like there's some kind of progression here where it used to kind of go around and cycle on itself, and then it's like within 7 days something is changing. You have the wheel, yeah, cycles. The wheel is all about cycles and karma and repeating patterns, sometimes good, sometimes bad. In this card, it says delays are over, sudden or unexpected good luck, and a new car or travel. Okay, we will take that in stride and see what that means. Oh, wow, you have the Empress as well. Again, with the number 3 here. See how the number 3 in this card is very, it has like that negative, heavy energy to it, whereas the Empress is like abundance and fruitfulness. It's a cornucopia of action is what I just got from it, which is very weird. I never get that energy from the Empress, but I'm feeling it's very action oriented, but in a very grounded, flowing, receptive way. So and it literally says time to take action. I didn't even see that. You guys can see it because I'm holding it up to the camera, but I'm like gazing out the window when I channel, and then I look down at the cards to kind of see anyway. Time to take action, the power of creativity, success that allows for a life of luxury. Wow. Okay. So this is a big major shift that you guys are going through. All the numbers are really standing out to me. The 10 is the end of a cycle. So round and round, something that's been cycling back on itself is now coming to an end, and a new cycle is beginning. It has to do with you being your best self and feeling passionate about your life, being more independent, striking out on your own, no longer having codependency, because that's really what I'm getting from the cat here. Cats are so independent that they're not codependent. They can take you or leave you, you know what I mean? And they love you, but they're not going to base their entire life around you necessarily. They're very strong-willed and they stand up for what they need. So I see you, it's like you're stepping out of a period of codependency and healing this heartache and loss that was associated with not enoughness or lack or not being your authentic self, and continuing to meet yourself in these imbalanced patterns over and over and over again. But Source is bringing you back to yourself, because they're showing me the face in the sky here. And it's making me think of like God guiding the ship and bringing you back to your natural climate. I had a realization the other day when I was out walking that the mood is kind of like the weather, and the overall disposition is the climate. So if our overall disposition has become negative, wounded, or in pain, then the climate, even though it's more challenging to change the climate than it is to change the weather, it needs to be addressed, and it can be addressed by reincorporating something that's being needed there or that's lacking. The other aspect of this is like the weather kind of directing you, your moods ruling you. I feel like you're a very passionate person, group number 4, and the second half of this year is not going to change that. It's like you're a passionate person, that's just who you are. But some of that sensitivity, that moodiness, or that depth of feeling, it's a strength that I see within you. And even though it is a strength, I'm not going to use the word but, I'm going to say and because it is a strength, it also has the opposite end of that spectrum, which can be observed as a weakness. It's not technically a weakness. It's just that the negative expression of that can be that you are very changeable or at the will or the whim of your moods or the moods of others, especially if you've had codependency and connection to other people be a big part of your life. So the second half of this year is you breaking these patterns and cycles by becoming more independent, more self-focused. And I was actually having a realization earlier today about, I was listening to a Jungian psychology, the analytical psychology practice, and how Jung differentiated himself from Freud. And then Jung went on to really focus on individuation, which is the process of really understanding yourself and bringing all of the subconscious stuff up into the conscious personality so that you have a stronger, more resilient sense of self. So I see that in the past, you may have been very passionate about other people or passionate about things that you were interested in, but you didn't necessarily know yourself fully. And that may have kind of gotten you off course. It's like the winds would just kind of blow you wherever. And you were more likely possibly to listen to what other people had to say about you and then internalize that as who you were. And that kind of kept you in this repeating cycle where you're stuck on the wheel, not getting off to enjoy the abundance that the wheel is attempting to bring for you, and kind of getting stuck in these patterns or cycles of being disconnected from yourself. But essentially, what they were showing me as I was watching that video, because Spirit is constantly communicating with me, not just in these readings. It's like, it's a lifestyle at this point. And what they were showing me was that if your sense of self is weak, then you are going to go up against the world and you're going to lose that battle every time. And what the world sees in you is what you're going to start seeing in yourself. But if your sense of self is strong, then you can go up against the world and you can win every time, because it doesn't really matter what the other people think or see of you, because you've got a really strong sense of self that can't be shaken. And then the visual that they were showing me as I was having that realization or channeling that information was of two people arm wrestling. And it's like, the world is trying to push you down, push you down, push you down and tell you who you are. And if you're weak and you don't really have a sense of self, you haven't strengthened that individuation muscle, then you're going to lose every time. And you're going to start to believe that that's what's true because you're being dominated. Whereas if you have a really strong cultivated sense of self, and you've strengthened that individuation muscle, you're going to win. You're going to be able to move the needle back the other way and say, you know what? I'm not going to internalize that. I'm not going to take that as truth just because that's how you see me doesn't mean that it's accurate. And another realization that's coming through, sorry to keep going off on a tangent, but this is important information that they're bringing through for a reason for you, Group 4. When you have a strong sense of self, nothing can bowl you over. And if you really think about it, your sense of self is the most accurate. Sometimes other people can show us our blind spots. Sometimes other people can show us where we are biased toward ourselves or the world or whatever it happens to be. But most of the time, our sense of self is the most accurate. Why? Not because it's most objectively true, but it's because it's the most subjectively accurate or true, because it's our experience, and our experience is inherently true, whether it's objectively true or not. Your experience of yourself is the most accurate representation of who you are. Now, another aspect of Jungian analytical psychology is first individuation, and then there's a focus on who you want to become. So you're not defined by your past experiences. You're not defined by the way the world has experienced you or labeled you or projected upon you. You are defined by who you want to become and the actions and steps that you're taking toward that. So that's another thing that I see here for you in the second half of this year, Group 4, is that you are really choosing to be someone different. You're choosing to bring the pain and the heartache up to the surface. You're going to the sea. The sea is the subconscious mind. And you are calling forth, I'm hearing like Poseidon and the gods of the sea to help you have a more accurate representation or view of what lies below the surface. And then as a result of that, you're gaining that really grounded, clear view of yourself as an individuated part of a whole. Because individuation doesn't mean that you're completely separate from everyone else. You can still have interdependency, but you're not codependent because you're not dependent on the other person to define you or to bring you a sense of satisfaction or passion for life. You've got that within you already. And you've cultivated and developed that through this psychoanalysis. So very psychological second half of your year, group number 4. I feel like you're going to be doing a lot of deep diving to break these cycles. And then that's going to be very practically useful for you. It's going to be very tangible in its results. So even though it's a very I'm hearing the word psychonaut. It's like you're putting on your space helmet and going into the depths of your subconscious mind. And even though a lot of this is very psychoanalytical, you are going to be creating a lot of physical, practical results from that just by being yourself, just by renewing this passion, just by being more independent and individuated. That stronger sense of self helps you to create something really, really powerful. So let's get some clarifiers from the tarot. Okay, so when I picked up the tarot deck, it was sitting on top of the Cosmic Coven, and I'm using the Rider-Waite, and it dragged this card with it. And this is the Wheel of Fortune, so you've got the wheel twice. So I'm going to take that because they told me it's meant to be for this reading, because I was going to put it back, and they said, just look at it. And I was like, okay, so I look at it, and sure enough, it's the Wheel of Fortune. So let's get some clarifiers for you, group 4, for the second half of this year. You have the 6 of Cups and Temperance. Both of these came out in group number 3, was it? I think. Anyway, yeah, it's like you're finding balance, you're moderating yourself. You might be doing some inner child healing or doing some past stuff, because the 6 of Cups is very much about like the innocence of the inner child and memories, nostalgia, things from your past. And that's part of individuation. We need to understand where we came from to understand where we're going and why. But I feel like you're moderating that. So you're not going completely into the depths of, your past and reliving and re-traumatizing yourself. You're doing it in a very balanced way. So you're staying grounded and practical, but you're still open to the emotional information that's relevant. You've got one foot in the emotional depths and one foot on the ground, one foot on, firm, practical soil. I feel like this is what's getting you out of this round and round cycle. The positive side of round and round is evolution and growth. But the negative aspect of it is like stuckness, stagnancy, staying in the same cycle over and over again, repeating. That does not prove fruitful for evolution and growth. So I see you balancing things out in this way. That's going to really serve you in regard to your sense of self. Like this is just all about your sense of self, group 4. Why do I keep doing that? Maybe you need to watch group 3, okay? Because I know you're group 4, but for whatever reason, group 3 keeps slipping out of my mouth. So let's see what else is coming up for you. So for group 4 in the second half of 2023. Nope. Okay. The Hermit. Yep, this is all about introspection. And in that Jungian video, it was, I think there was a quote. I don't remember what it was specifically, so I'm just going to paraphrase it. But Jung said that solitude was one of the most beneficial parts of life. It's like if you want to know yourself, then you need to be with yourself. And you need to do that alone. That's what the Hermit is. And it's time to introspect. It's time to look deeper below the surface. It's time to get to know yourself without distraction. Because I feel like some of you have been caught in a cycle of distraction where you're focusing so much on the outside world, you're focusing so much on other people and what they can bring to you, or even distracting yourself with tons and tons of stimuli like TV and music. And those are not bad things. Those are good things. But in excess, right, without balance, without moderation, that's just a distraction. It's an escape from yourself. But you need to know yourself here. So you're kind of being called to go and spend some time alone in the second half of this year. That's going to help you be more independent. 2 of Wands here. I feel like you're making some pretty major decisions in regard to your passion, because they're drawing my attention to passion and they're drawing my attention to the world. So I feel like the world here is in relation to like the World card, where you are expanding That's not a word. You are expanding and broadening your horizons. Sometimes my mind works too fast for my mouth, so I have to like literally ground myself and slow down so that I can, say the messages without completely smashing them together. The Two of Wands here speaks of a decision that you're making in regard to what you're passionate about, what you want to be, what you want to do out in the world. But first, again, you have to do the internal introspection to be able to have an accurate view of what that choice is and what choice is going to serve you. You have the Page of Wands as well. So lots of Wands energy, lots of passion, fire, drive, creative spark is what I'm seeing as well, because the Empress is very creative. So even if you went through all this pain and heartache and loss, I feel like you are integrating that and then using that to further your growth. So it's like, yeah, alchemy, you're alchemizing it. The Tower. Yeah, I can't say that I'm surprised. I'm not surprised to see this. So the Tower card here is talking about this individuation process coming in and really shaking your view of yourself to the ground. Anything that was not built on authentic self is going to be falling down around your feet. It's going to crumble, but embrace that. Okay. Don't be afraid of that. It's going to help you get out of this trapped in fear energy where you're stuck and not seeing yourself clearly, where you feel emotionally devoid or disconnected from the world around you, and you're trapped in your own mind. So really, the reason I think that you may have been stuck in these cycles is because you were looking for external ways to break these bonds, but this is an inside job. It has always been an inside job, and nothing outside of you can break that for you. You have to do it for yourself. And you're doing that. The second half of this year, you're learning more about what has held you back. What limiting beliefs have you given a lot of energy to? What limiting thoughts, beliefs, or self-perceptions or philosophies even have you invested in? And do you need to kind of cut your losses and remove from the template of your mind? I'm hearing the word tabula rasa, which I'm pretty sure is also a Jungian phrase, and this refers to the blank slate. Tabula rasa is the blank slate of the mind. So being open to new experience, new realms of thought, new self-perception that's more accurate based on the wisdom that you're gaining through solitude, independence, isolation. Not isolation entirely. You don't have to completely seclude yourself. It's just spending more time dedicated to yourself. That's what's going to help to bring in this fortune. The wheel will change and turn in a different direction. And if you were stuck before, you'll be free. So it's like the opposite. And the creativity is going to bring in a lot of abundance for you. I feel like it's going to spark some pretty major life changes. It could even be like career changes as well. Something about the 7 is standing out to me again. So this could be 7 days, 7 weeks, 7 months. 7 is also a highly spiritual number of rest, introspection, and connection to the divine. So whenever I see 7, I think of it as like a very lucky or auspicious sign that I'm in alignment, I'm getting into alignment, and there's still something to learn. And to do that, I need to slow down, I need to meditate, I need to open up and introspect. But whenever I do that, just in my own kind of lived spiritual experience, whenever I do that, I receive some pretty profound information that either expands or illuminates or confirms kind of the symbols, synchronicities, and information I've been getting up until that point. And then it helps me to make the decision and then to take the action. And then because I've taken the action, things start to shift in my physical reality, because it is through our actions and the alignment of the energy beneath them that's motivating that action that will help to shift and turn the wheel of fate. Because that's what the wheel of fortune is, the wheel, the round and round. It's all fate, karma, destiny, and all that is cause and effect. We are in control of that for the most part. It's all free will. And some of that is higher will. Some of that is what we've set up for ourselves beforehand. Some of that is based on the wisdom of our soul. But a lot of that is kind kind of at the mercy, I want to say, of our human free will, which is why we need to have a really clear sense of self. We need to do this introspection and individuation work so that we can better be responsible with that power. Because as humans, we're very limited in our consciousness, but we have the capacity to expand it. We have the capacity to learn and to do and to be. So use your free will to express yourself going forward. Now let's grab some runes and letters. That's what we're going to do. Runes, letters, and then astro dice. All right, so let's grab 3 runes because that's what they're telling me to do. You have this one, and yeah, this one. Okay, I know this one's Berkana. I'm still learning the runes, so I'm going to look at the guide for this. Okay, this was actually the first thing I saw when I opened up the guide sheet. Jera, benefit from your earned successes, change is coming, harvest. Yeah, harvest, sequence, cycle, end, and outcome. So this is the end of a cycle. That's what the Wheel of Fortune represents, and it's bringing you the benefit of your earned successes. Change is here the next half of this year. I didn't mean to rhyme. Change is here the next half of this year. You're seriously going to be experiencing the benefit, the outcome, the positive shift that you have earned through your dedication to your internal self-development is really, really what I feel here. Now this one, Lagoos, time to trust your intuition and honor your receptive side. Renewal, dreams, flow of emotions, and the unconscious mind. And that's what we're seeing there with To the Sea, the 6 of Cups. You know, you're really reconnecting with your passion, your dreams, your inner self, your subconscious self, your whole self, and bringing those parts into the conscious mind so that you can understand them and better use them through your free will in your actions to manifest abundance, results, and good things going forward. Now, Berkana indicates regenerative powers and personal growth, new beginnings, birth, prosperity, beauty, and conception. We did have the Empress there, which is all about birth, conception, creativity, abundance, prosperity. Yeah. So the second half of this year, group number 4, is going to be very prosperous, very fertile. I feel like you are ending this cycle and then you're getting all of the sort of payoffs for it. It's like what they're showing me in my mind is like when you finish a job and you get the final payout. Like let's say you're a contractor and instead of getting paid, hourly, it's like what the example they're showing me is that you get a little bit of it, like a deposit at the beginning to secure your services, and then you do a bunch of work and you adjust things along the way, and then you end up building a house, and at the end you get that lump sum down payment of like the rest of the money that you're owed for the materials and the work and the labor and the hours and all that. So I feel like this is the end of that cycle where all of this work that you've been doing toward your individuation and personal growth is going to start paying off, and you're reigniting your passion for life. You're reigniting your creative spark. You are doing it in a very moderated, healthy way, very balanced, grounded and practical, but emotionally intuitive and receptive at the same time. And because of that, there's just freedom and the flow of prosperity is like go, go, go. So let's grab some letters. Okay. This is making me think of think. I know we don't have a K here, but I use these more as prompts than anything. And think is like think about it. You're deep thinking in, I think, the first half of this year as well as the second half. 2023 has been a really deep thinking year for you, group number 4. You've done a lot of work here. You've probably already done a fair amount of introspection, but the second half of this year, I think you're just going to be getting kind of like the results or the rewards of that. You're still going to be focusing on that as well. Like there's still more interest. Oops, one of the wands fell down. The pink wand fell down. I don't remember which reading that was from. Okay, maybe there's more, maybe there's information for you in that one too. I don't know. Anyway, I just feel like you're going to be doing a lot of deep thinking this year. Okay, we have the word dirt. I feel like you're delving into the dirt and you're not afraid to get dirty in digging up some of these old things from the past. Now, you're washing it clean as well, because the temperance does speak to me of like cleanliness, moderation, purity, purification, alchemy. So I feel like you're you're doing some of the dirty work here to get the reward. It's like you got to get a little dirty to get to the good outcome. It's like the blood, sweat, and tears that really build that beautiful thing that you've been working toward. And then, like I said, the culmination or the completion of that cycle sees you being rewarded or being fairly compensated, I should say. It's not really a reward. It's more like fair compensation for what you've put in. Okay, I'm seeing the word rot here. And this makes me think of fertilizer, especially since we just had the word dirt. So it's like for new growth to happen, you've got to let old things rot. And that doesn't mean like ignoring them. It means putting them out. I just heard the word out to pasture. It's like letting old things die, letting them fall away, and then being able to redirect your focus onto the new growth. Yeah, so it's like you're leaving old things in the past and then focusing on new growth. Okay. I also was getting the word roti. This makes me think of rotate, like the wheel, the spinning of the wheel, rotating, changes occurring, natural progression, evolution. But this also makes me, I think roti is a type of Indian food. If you guys are familiar with that, let me know what that means. Maybe there's some spiritual meaning there for you, or maybe this is just a personal message for you. Either right now or in the future, there will be context that comes from that. Doctor. Something about a doctor. Oh, hint. They're hinting at something. Spirit has been hinting at something for you, group number 4. And it's like, have you been taking the hint? Have you been following the clues? I just got Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde from this. It's like split personality, or the shadow self and the conscious self. The unconscious mind, the conscious mind, and it's kind of like a schism between those two. So individuation is, again, it's about bringing those two together and integrating them so that you have a healthy psyche. An unhealthy psyche is separated from itself. This may even be working with a psychotherapist or a doctor or a counselor of some degree, or even getting your own degree in or a doctorate in that field, or it could be medical as well, but something about a hint. It's like they're hinting at something. You're getting hints. Let me see if we can figure out what that is. They are giving me the word drive here. I know we don't have the rest of the letters, but that's the word they're telling me. And we did see a new car or travel in one of the world cards under there. So might be driving somewhere. I'm getting the word hoard. We have an E on the side here, so I'm just going to move that over. Yeah, hoard. Hoarding is like holding on to things. And usually it's a result of some kind of, again, a schism in the psyche, because there's a wound, a lack wound that causes that hoarding or that consumption or that holding on to things from the past or things that give a sense of security. So there might be psychological things that you're really grappling with this year or that have come up for you already. I don't think that the second half of this year is going to be as intense. I feel like it's going to be actually a little bit more peaceful. It's like the work that you've been doing leading up to this, either in the years building up to this point, it's like you are breaking free from a lot of these patterns of limitation, lack, loss, fear, restriction, holding on. It's like grabbing tightly to things. It's like hoarding emotions or hoarding people in your life is what they're showing me. Like not even hoarding physical things. It's like hoarding emotion. You've been hoarding emotion, group 4. Okay. Like holding on to things so tightly. And now it's like you're finally just going, letting it go, and then embracing the fact that each emotion can come and flow as it needs to. That's the sea energy. It's just letting it flow, but not control you. You're still the one steering the ship. You can use the weather, you can use the climate, and you can change it as you interact with it. But you're not, completely at the whim and not needing to like hold on to everything so tightly. Okay. they're giving me the word dryer. And they were also giving me the word Honda earlier too. So you might have a Honda, or you might be getting a Honda. They did say a new car or travel. So you might be renting a car, you might be getting a car. I don't know, something about a Honda. But I also see dryer. Water is emotions. So a dryer could be about like drying out your emotions. Like if you've been in a flood and because you've been hoarding all of these emotions, they've been dammed up or walled up. It's like you're going to get drier by releasing these and finally being able to reconcile with them in some way. You may be torn. We did see Two of Wands. It's like about decision. You've got things that you kind of need to figure out here, and there may be some heartache and loss that comes with releasing the past. It's like if you choose one thing over the other, you are leaving that in the past. You are excluding that. So it's not, it's inherently not a hoarding energy because you're choosing one versus the other. Whereas before you may have tried to have both in a way that was really imbalanced and not allowing you to move forward because you didn't want to lose anything in the process of making a definitive decision. So this might have you feeling torn. You might be feeling like you don't want to have to make this decision, but I'm telling you, or Spirit, I should say, is telling you, I'm really just the messenger, the interpreter here, but Spirit is telling you to make this decision based on what you feel and based on what makes logical sense, and to allow that to guide you, because even though you feel torn about this in some way in the next 6 months, there's going to be progress here. You're going to be able to dry out, wring out the old towel of all the mucky old energy, and do a little bit of that dirty work, get your hands dirty a little bit, but in the process of getting dirty, you're getting clean. And that's why it's such a paradox, is because in the process of getting dirty, you're getting clean. It's like when you clean out your house, if you've been hoarding and your house is full of clutter and then you can't keep up with it, it gets dirty and dusty, and then you start to feel really bad because the energy is not flowing and because you feel a sense of shame or something like that. You've got to get a little dirty to start the process of cleaning. And you've got to make a bigger mess to get it clean, because you've got to unload everything. So it gets a little more chaotic before it gets clean and peaceful. So the six months that are coming up here, they may challenge you a little bit, but it's going to bring a lot of balance and a lot of good things for you. It's going to bring a lot of reward, so it's worth it. Seeing the word hurt. Yeah, there's hurt under the surface. Oh, die. Oh my God. Let the old things die. We already had that message. Yeah, let the old things die. Let the hurt lie. Let the hurt lie. You don't have to keep carrying that with you and reliving it. You don't have to keep recreating the hurt. Let it die. Let it die. Let it go. You can integrate it. So it's like a part of it comes with you, but not the entire thing. The entire thing, you don't need the entire thing. You can let go of a lot of the residual parts of that hurt, and you can retain what you learned from it, what the experience taught you in a positive light, and let the rest of it die. Let it dissolve in the sea. Let it dry out. Okay? I do see the word diet. Some of you may be changing your diet. You may be focusing on getting rid of things that are hurting your body physically. You could be focusing on getting healthier so that you can be more fertile physically if you're trying to have a baby, or you're trying to, just have your physical body be a better home for you to live in. Then focusing on a healthier diet or lifestyle is going to be something that can help to heal the hurt, especially if you're dealing with like physical health issues in conjunction with psychological things. A lot of the time, diet can help to resolve kind of both aspects of that. It's not going to do the entire work, but if you're balancing it out and doing both things, it's going to be really, really useful. Like, I'll give you an example from my life. I have ADHD, and it's diagnosed and all of that. I think I also have a little bit of touch of autism too, on the spectrum. But diet has been one of the biggest things that has changed, omitting all gluten, corn, soy, canola, sunflower oil, fats, really focusing on a lot of just like fresh organic fruits and vegetables. Like pretty much all I eat is fruits and vegetables now, and anything that's made from fruits and vegetables that has no preservatives, no added natural flavors or anything like that. And it's been like night and day, and I can tell because if I eat something that's conventionally produced, pesticide ridden, not organic, not fresh, if it comes in a box or a bag or something or a can, I start to not be able to think clearly. My energy levels get low. I get agitated and I get anxious. And I've noticed since I've healed my diet that my body is getting better. I'm stronger. My mental faculties are much better and I don't need medication. I'm able to be clear and be here and be present in my body in a way that I wasn't before. My inflammation has also gone down and some of my other chronic health issues have started to repair themselves. So diet can help to heal the hurt if you're doing it right. Yeah. So don't restrict yourself. It's all moderation, right? It's not too much of this or too much of that. It's intuitive, and that's what I do. I'm an intuitive eater. I will still eat things that sometimes I want, but I'm not going into excess like I was before, like hoarding and holding on to all of those old dietary addictions, because that's what they were, addictions. I'm seeing the word runt. So I feel like this is a deep psychological side of you that needs to be addressed. It might be a part of you that feels like it's unwanted or that it's lacking. Because hoarding is about holding on to things because you don't feel like you have enough. And runt is like the runt of the litter, the smallest of the lot, so you might feel small or weak or less than. And so that may have been what caused you to hold on to things, hoard things in an attempt to feel like you had more than you did to begin with. It's very psychological. This is making me think of idea, but I also just got Ides of March, and I don't know what Ides of March actually is. But idea, there's an idea. They did give us the word hint. You're meant to be focusing on the mind and developing your mind. HR is making me think of, first of all, human resources just came to mind. So it's like, again, that's like psychology and interpersonal relationships. But HR also makes me think of hour. So something to do with hours, how many hours in the day you have. And we did get time coming up a lot. The Wheel of Fortune is also about time. It's like cycles of time. We've got seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years. And then there's larger cycles of time like eras and eons and things like that. But for whatever reason, they're bringing up time for you here. So it's time to do something, or if you're worried about the time it's going to take to do something, don't worry about the time. Just focus on the idea, focus on the passion, focus on the decision, and then go for it. It doesn't matter how long it's going to take because the time's going to pass anyway. So you might as well spend it doing what you want to be doing or what's going to serve you in the long run. Even if you don't want to do it, if it's going to serve you in the long run, it's going to be worth it. Because I remember back when I was eating really unhealthily all the time, I was like, well, it's going to take so much time for me to learn how to cook these things. And it's going to take so much time for me to, get disciplined in this new habit. And I don't have time for that. I'm so busy. I'm just going to eat takeout because it's fast and cheap and easy. But it actually didn't take me that long. I think it took me about 2 months to right my world in regard to my diet, my lifestyle, and my health. So yeah, 2 months in the grand scheme of things is like nothing. They did give us 7, so it's like seven days, 7 weeks, 7 months, 7 hours. I don't know. Anyways, I'll leave it there. So let's grab the Astro dice and take a look at final closing messages for you, Group 4. So for Group 4 in the second half of this year, what do they need to know? You have the Moon, which is the subconscious mind, in Taurus in the 11th house. Okay, so the Moon is really speaking of your internal drives, is what I just heard. Your internal drives. What are your motivating factors? What is driving your actions and why are you doing those things? So getting very, very clear about your internal psychological motivations for your behaviors is going to help you to find some more stability, because Taurus is very much about stability. I also feel, especially since Taurus is related to the Empress card and it's ruled by Venus, It feels like you're doing some healing, because Venus in this context is making me think of healing. You're doing psychological healing, emotional healing of the psychological and physical bodies and how those two connect together. I see Taurus here also being about beautification. You could be improving your home, because we did have the example of like a contractor. So you could be getting a new car, you could be improving your home, you could be improving your lifestyle and diet in the second half of this year, improving your psychological functioning. It's like the way that you think about the world and yourself. The 11th house here, interestingly, is about your dreams, long-term goals, and other people. It's also your social networks, social media, and your connection to people, to groups of people. I just heard that some of you might be joining a 12-step program within 7 days of watching this reading. Because and I didn't even notice that the side of this block has 12 on it. I was just channeling that, but then they showed me, look, 12. Oh, 12 and 7. Oh my God, I didn't even see that. So yeah, somebody here is going to be joining a 12-step program in 7 days. And it's a group setting, which is 11th house, and it helps you to heal. So you might be doing some psychological work within that group setting. It might be helping you to understand. It's like Hoarders Anonymous or Emotions Anonymous or Al-Anon or something like that. You might be going to an Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous to help you to heal this like lack or unworthiness wound, the psychological things that caused physical addictions. Taurus in the reverse, like the shadow side of Taurus, can be very indulgent or overindulgent. It's like overeating, over drinking. It's very hedonistic in that sense. So that could be something that you're healing by working with a group of people who are healing it as well. And putting yourself in that environment is going to help. Now it's interesting because they're drawing my attention back to the Hermit. So you did have like Hermit energy, which is about the self and solitude and time alone. But then you also have the 11th house, which is about groups and connections and community. So I feel like you're going to be balancing those things out. And that's what temperance is. Temperance is the balance between things. It is the moderation. So you have a little bit in this and a little bit in that, and you're able to mix them together in a very balanced way to create more harmony for you. I also see the path leading you to the light. So if you've been kind of on a dark path, or you've been feeling really stuck, trapped, or you're just struggling, like struggling psychologically, physically, financially even, I see you kind of coming out of it, and it's a little bit of a ways to get there, but you're going to have company on the path. You're going to have support. You have a lot of blessings that are going to come to you as a result of you facing your fears and addressing some of the wounds that are underneath the surface. Yeah. Okay, so lots of blessings and abundance that are coming through psychological development and personal growth, especially as it's related to your long-term goals, your vision for your life in the future, and how you connect to other people who support you or who are allies for you to continue to grow and heal. So that's what I see for you in the second half of this year, group number 4. It's pretty intense. There's a lot going on here. We had many different messages, but it's a 6-month period, so that's to be expected. But it's going to be overall very beneficial for you in many, many different ways, physically, financially, emotionally, spiritually, relationship-wise. It's just all across the board. It's like massive, massive growth and development. So let me know how it goes. If you remember, as time goes on, come back to the reading, rewatch it, remind yourself, leave me a comment, let me know how this turns out. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I love you, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye.